The negative about being a... No, not that. I don't think I sent that to YouTube, thank goodness. Hello there again, boys and girls. We're back after that little mess up because I didn't put the right thing in the title because I'm a dum-dum from Attila the Hun. But we're back to Sakura Succubus 7. This is part 3 of the Let's Play. Of course, we have Joe and Ashley in the chat party with me tonight. Ashley's eating delicious cucumbers. And Joe is probably losing on the game of life. Happy Sunday to everybody. It is very windy here today in the state of Virginia, so please stay warm and all that. I'm actually wearing a hoodie. And no, it's not a Kirby hoodie for the first time. It's actually Naruto. I'm sure that would surprise-tastic. And all that. But let's get back to where we left off with the nice, wholesome story about demon women with big old titties that want to play with your boy Doug. Unfortunately, I can't get a real woman like this in the real world because Virginia sucks. I should point out, I did platinum the PS4 version of this, but I just skipped through the entire, all the dialogue and everything, didn't even read it because I was Let's Playing the PS5 version, so I don't know the ending, still, if anyone wanted to ask, but let's keep going. Yuri approached me, then links her arm through mine. I have missed you. Yuri. I sigh, all thoughts of ice cream driven from my mind as Yuri rests her head against my shoulder. I can feel her long, sleek hair blushing against my cheek. Can smell, too, the distinct scent of her shampoo. Yuri feels very soft, not to mention warm. With the tits like that, I bet she does feel warm. She definitely good in the cold nights to keep her body warm. I've missed you, too. Do you mean that truly? Of course, I wish we could talk more often, though I know there's a few logistic issues there. Indeed, there are. If only I didn't have the succubus realm to run, perhaps I'd be able to spend more time by your side. But alas... Yuri shakes her head. Let us not dwell upon such sorry affairs for the present. I'd far rather indulge in your company. I did not pay the truly exponent fare to enter this theme park for us to be mundane. I quirk an eyebrow at this, amused as my eyes play across Yuri's profile. Did you pay the entry fee to come here, then? But of course. What do you take me for? I might be a succubus, but I am not a criminal. I have lived among you humans long enough to know that theft is morally wrong. I can hardly indulge in pretty criminal vices among you humans, not when in the succubus realm it is my duty to uphold law and order. That would make me a hypocrite. I guess it would, yeah, but I'm sorry. I laugh. I can't help myself, not when Yuri looks so affronted. And Tassic's here, by the way. That is my one good... Everybody always mutes me.
Huh? I'm Peachy. I'm
What?
Gucci.
Why does everybody mute me when I'm streaming?
Oh, it'll be okay.
This is why I hate...
Mute you.
This is why I hate TikTok, because no one mutes TikTok. No one mutes people on freaking TikTok. Anyway. Hey, Tasik, hello.
Hello.
Did you like the fact I named one of my platinum trophies after you?
Yeah. I was
You got
a little
the...
shocked by it.
What do you mean shock? I usually give shout-outs to my peeps.
I'm so glad that I was able to save the world.
Yeah, from alien spiders and snakes and shit.
Exactly.
So good job.
You're welcome.
Back to this, though. I got to get back to reading. You know, my fun thing is Rosie and Duckhart, what helps them go to sleep at night. There's something pretty fun.
Because it's boring, or is it?
No,
just
me.
Have a soothing, like a super attractive voice.
The second one, surprisingly, because I thought it was boring, but no, they like any. Even when I'm reading files from Resident Evil, they fall asleep. or Kingdom Hearts, so I guess I just have a soothing voice to put them to bed. Maybe they should have their baby listen to me. Their baby would go to bed. 'Cause I do make a good babysitter, apparently, from what I've been told. Um, so yay. There's something pretty funny about the thought of you paying for a ticket to come here when you could have just teleported past the ticket barrier. I could have done that, yes, but it would have been morally wrong. While I might be a human, while I might Well, I might not be a human. I don't like how that's worded. I want at least to act like an upstanding citizen. I know you do, and you all. I think you're very upstanding indeed. Yeah, I see number A and number B of what makes you upstanding. I'm just saying. But not my favorite succubus in this game. It's cute. She's actually my number 3. Yuri cute? Am I? Yuri humps. For some reason, that does not feel like a compliment. Hey, now, if I tell a girl she's cute, a woman she's cute, that's a compliment. I know most women don't like hearing cute nowadays, or the hooting and hollering, because apparently they get offended, but, sorry, I grew up on the Coyote from the Droopy cartoons. When I see a beautiful woman, I go, how? Maybe explain why I'm single in this state, because it works at video game conventions, but not in Virginia. No, it feels like you are teasing me. But never mind. Why don't we enjoy ourselves for a little while, Yuriko? I know you came here with several others, Yuri and Cosmo included. But now that I'm here, I would appreciate if we could have some time together. It is so rare that we get any time alone, after all. I would very much like to show you how much I care for you. Now, just in case if you never played the other Succubus games, Yuri is actually the queen of the Succubus. She runs the entire Succubus ward. She is pretty much the queen. So it is kind of nice that I'm banging the queen of one of the 7 layers of hell, I guess you could say, because Succubus are technically demons. So it is kind of nice in that regard, but it does make it, unfortunately, a little bit difficult for us to get alone time. It is so rare that we get any time alone, after all. I would very much like to show you how much I care for you, just in case if I forgot to read that. Would that be agreeable with you? Would it be agreeable with me? Screw the cheerleader. Of course it would. Of course it would be. I don't even need to think about it. How can I say no to my adorable girlfriend? Which, again, he has a lot of them. Why is it that I can't have that kind of luck in my life? Granted, with everything going on in my life, that might be a little bit too much. I know this is a theme park, it's crowded, but that's no excuse to keep a lady waiting for that long. What took you, you thoughtless? Oh. Yuri's eyes dart to the right. When they do, her gaze meets Yuri's. Yuri was so incensed, I guess, at my long, untelegraphed absence, she didn't notice my +1. Lady Yuri, what are you doing here? What do you think? I came here to visit Huriko. That much should be obvious given the nature of our relationship. I fail to see why I need to explain myself to you, though. You are but one of my underlings, after all. Now please, stop gawking. It is uncouth, particularly for an idol. You should be more careful, Yuri. If you let your mouth hang open like that, insects will fly in. A giggling Cosmos darts towards, then accepts her bubblegum ice cream from my outstretched hand. Hey there, Lady Yuri. I didn't expect to see you, but it's nice you came. I hope you're having a good time. I'm having a tolerable good time, yes. Or at least, I was until Yuri started growling at me like that. Should you not be happy, Yuri, to see your queen? If I were you, I'd be crying tears of joy. Oh, yes, I'm ecstatic. Your presence here is wonderful, my lady. Truly, I am unworthy of your attention. You really are. If you knew any better, you would kneel before my feet and rub your head against my shoes in delight. But that might not perhaps be appropriate, given how crowded it is. Oh, goody. I would not want us to draw any undue attention. Now here, Yui. I heard you. but I don't think my
Sorry, I
viewers did.
misheard you.
Yui her strawberry ice cream which she was holding. Take it and be grateful. Oh, thank you, my lady. That was good of you, Lady Yui. You really are nice.
Check your messenger, Ashley. I sent you a message.
Yeah, I sent Tastic a message this morning, good morning, with a puppy and a cup of tea. I think actually I sent you a message too saying good morning today. Which I hope both of you had a very good morning, since it's no nighttime.
Seen a thing pop up. It shows up the image before I can look at your messages. And I was a little concerned because you sent me a picture in the middle of church, and I was like, I swear Doug has probably just sent me some blue anime chick.
No, I'm going to do that on PSN where, at least I know you're home. I'm not going to do that particularly because I knew you were at church. So I figured I would send something nice and sweet.
I appreciate it. I really do. I was just a little concerned. I was like, oh my gosh, Doug just sent me like an explicit photo, and I don't know what to do about it.
Now, if you want me to send you one of those when you're at church, just let me know. I kid. I know that. I know better. Even I'm not that stupid. Where was I? Oh, yes. Yuri's voice. I do my best, though I've long believed ruling with an iron fist was condemned to having loyal, well-behaved servants. Naturally, there were other ways to earn respect beyond fear-mongering. Hiriko helped me realize that. You're giving me too much credit. I am giving you just as much credit as you deserve. No more, no less. Please do not shrink away from my praise. Can you not accept that I care about you? I can accept it, sure. I'm not boasting enough, at least, to question your feelings, however confusing they might be. It's with a smile that I hand Steffi her vanilla ice cream cone. Here you go, Steffi. This is what you wanted, right? Oh, yes, it is, but, Steffi accepts the ice cream cone from me, then shyly she observes Yuri. I apologize for my ignorance, but who is your companion? I do not believe I have ever met her before. That is Lady Yuri. Yuri and I respect her a lot. She's like a queen. A queen? Steffi blinks, no doubt impressed. Then you are of a higher status than me. I am only a princess, you see. My parents are the ones who rule over Austria. I know it's probably
Sorry,
not
I didn't mean
that.
to put Christina.
Uh-oh. Christina Aguilera? Christina... That's the only Aguilera.
Oh no, sorry, I was talking to Ashley. My bad.
Oh, it's okay. I know, I'm just the fourth wheel here, just chugging along, making sure that everything goes according to plan before we went off a cliff. Whee! Yep, we landed in cucumbers. So we live. Ah, yes, I have heard about you. You are Lady Stephanie, are you not? Yes, I am. My name is Stephanie Sophia Maria Isabel of Austria, but you can call me Steffi. All my friends do. Apart from Lizzie, who calls me my lady. Lizzie would never admit to being my friend in any case, but she is. She's my best friend, in fact. And what about you? Are you a member of loyalty yourself, Lady Yuri? In a manner of speaking, I suppose. Steffi might be a member of my harem, but she has no idea as to the existence of succubi. I've been trying to keep that a secret from her. I don't want to alarm her.
You gonna make it, Ashley?
What did you send Ashley that's making her choke on cucumbers?
Oh, what happened after you left up? so, so that happened at the party after you left last night.
Okay, so is it in PSN messages or what? Because if it's
No,
something...
it's just I will wait until after you get done live streaming.
All right, no problem then. The same can excuse me. The same can be said too of Elizabeth. She might be Steffi's top maid, but she is also, as far as I can gather, quite ordinary. You're going to Detroit? Maria, Hooferby, and Hazel did have a few doubts about her when we were staying in the Royal Palace in Austria. But Elizabeth's not done
That's maybe
anything.
actually. I don't remember. I was seeing red last night, so if I said something, it wasn't intentional towards.
Anyway, but Elizabeth's not done anything to make me doubt her humanity. I don't think Elizabeth is a succubus, at least, but... Your name is Elizabeth, is that correct? Yes, it is. A pleasure to meet you. Elizabeth takes her dark skirts in both hands and then offers Yuri a neat curtsy. Elizabeth's greeting is perfectly polite, as one might expect from a maid, but Yuri looks perturbed by it.
Mm-hmm.
You look awfully familiar. Do I? Indeed you do.
I'm already in a match.
There is something about the shape of your face, perhaps. Or the color of your hair.
I literally got just touched the ground.
Hmm.
I was about to make a dark ether
Have we met before in passing?
run.
Perhaps we have. I cannot say for certain. How very curious. Well, never mind. Perhaps I am imagining things. I am so very busy with work, it seems unlikely I would have the opportunity to spend time with a woman such as yourself. I've never been to Austria, though I would not mind traveling. Seems a pleasant country by your accounts. Oh, it is. Austria is a very lovely. It is rather small, but has no shortage of attractions. I hope you'll be able to come there one day, Lady Yuri. Just Yuri is fine. It is, really? Of course. If you wish for me to call you Steffi, then I must insist that you dispense with the formalities in turn when it comes to me. There is no need for us to bow and scrap before one another, not when we are both royalty. We are the same status, you and I. As such, I would like it if we could become friends. I have precious few of them, given I spend most of my time interacting with my subjects. Well, I wouldn't like to be presumptuous, but if you're all right with that, then I suppose I can call you Yuri. I thought you were going to say Doug is such a good reader with all these female voices.
I
And
feel
then
like my ears are bleeding from the very inappropriate fan fiction I'm listening to.
So you're saying I'm doing a good job as a voice actor? Got it. And video game companies out there, if you want to hire me as a voice. Wait, I thought mine's not different. No. But video game companies out there, if you want me as your voice actor, I can do men, I can do women, I can do creepy, I can do old. I don't need a lot of money. All you got to do is pay me in PSN cards.
If you need a good-looking young model, I'm not your guy.
I do got a little bit of a belly, but hey, if you want to make a fat guy into a video game, I'm your man. I'll do it for cheap. I'm a cheap hoe. I'm also a cheap date. Why is it that Rosie, Doc, and Ashley are the three that fall asleep when I'm doing my video stream? Too late! Why do all the women I know fall asleep to my reading? I don't get it. Good. Then I shall call you Steffi, provided your maid does not take any issues with that. No, that is quite all right with me. I'd be happy if my lady could make more friends. I am happy to hear it. Yuri hands Elizabeth her ice cream and then smiles at Steffi. Now, would you care to wander the theme park with me, Steffi? I had never been to a place such as this before, but I think experiencing it with you would be fun. As a fellow noble, there is much I believe that we can discuss with one another. I imagine we have a lot in common. Oh, that sounds wonderful. I look forward to getting to know more about you and the customs of the country from which you hail. Annie from the Hunakos is a friend of mine. Yeah, wait till you find out she's from hell, which is also known as Detroit. Well, I can't say Detroit anymore. I know where hell is now, but that's a different story. Gotta go fast. Gotta go. Oh my God. Well, you can tell what they were doing with this image. Da 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 da. Okay, viewers, who do you think has the better tits in this picture, Steffi or Yui?
Gosh.
Hey, there's no kids in here anymore. I can say what I want. Woohoo! Oh my gosh, this is so much fun. Are you having fun too, Yui? I've never been on a roller coaster before, but whoosh! Ah, it's just the best when there's a sudden drop like that. My stomach's lurching, but in a good way. This is so hype. Well, I am rather inclined to agree with you there. Foo 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 foo. By the way, if anyone wants to know how I can do a lot of these voices, I did take theater for all 4 years of high school and in college. I actually wanted to be an actor, but unfortunately, sometimes life can be a bitch.
Not this.
Unaccustomed as I may to roller coasters, I don't dislike how dramatic this experience is. I've never had much of a chance to cut loose as a monarch. Whoosh! Yay!
Do you have any Pack-a-Punch crystals?
But I think I could get used to this. I know, right?
If you don't have
Isn't
a
this the
crystal,
best?
stay in zone 1 until you can
I'm having a
Pack-a-Punch.
whale of a time. Ha ha! I'm so glad Hugo took me here. And don't you know what? What? I'm glad I could experience this with you two. Hee hee. You. Oh? Of course, it's not every day I get to meet another royal. I feel like we'll have a lot of. I feel like. I feel like we have a lot in common. Do you really think so? Yes, we both cooped up in palaces all our lives. Now we both met Hiriko, though, we can have fun. We're both doing things that normally we never be able to do. Don't you think that's special? Well, when you phrase it like that, I suppose it is rather special. I'm not sure if we're quite as similar as you seem to think. You're a lot bubblier than I am, for one, but I'm glad I met you too, Steffi. I think you and I could become very good friends. Oh, I do hope so. I'm so happy. I don't know what to do with myself. I have one idea what you can do, but I'm going to keep that to myself.
Oh, Doug, no.
I said I was keeping that to myself. I'm going to have that image tonight when I go to bed. Whenever that will be, because I don't get good sleep because of my... Hey, I'm single and I'm allowed to have the dirty thoughts when I sleep. Leave me alone.
I will not leave you alone.
This is so much fun. Whoosh. I don't want today to ever end. Sadly, all things must come to an end. I wonder about Yumio Land for a while more with my companions, talking to them all the while. Together we attend various attractions until near the end of the day, Yui makes something of a scene. My group winds up going at Cosmo's behest to a stage show. It's the sort of show they often stage at theme parks. Open air on a dinky little stage set up in front of one of the gentle rides for kids. It's a pretty low budget sort of show that features actresses dressed up as magical girls from a series I presume must be currently airing. These actresses are occupied with defending the world, aka the audience, from the forces of evil! Aka female actresses dressed up in scary monster costumes. Also known as North Carolina people. The magical girls duke it out on stage with the monsters while jubilant music plays to the loudspeakers and a narrator stands to one side, appealing to the audience for their help. Clap your hands, everybody, and shout for the cool Muse and the cool Marine. They're both doing their best to defend us, but they need your help. Let's all give them a round of applause. The audience of this show, which mostly comprises of little kids, all begin to cheer enthusiastically, as too does Cosmo. You can do it, Q Muse! You can do it, Cool Marina! I believe in you! Don't let the bad guys get the better of you. You can overcome all ills with the power of friendship. The power of friendship is so cool, yeah! I understand. I understand, little children. Hold on one second.
Do you now?
Hold on. No, not you. I think Joe's brother's
You
watching
went to a
wrestling.
building that's infected with like a bunch of
Children.
goop.
I understand, little
Pretty
children
much.
getting worked up over a silly show like this.
Leave the building.
But what are you shrieking
Or
for?
destroy the cyst.
Aren't
Yeah,
you
you have
supposed to be an
destroy the little
adult?
cysts, little yellow bubbles.
Normally, I suppose. So you admit you really are a child? Yuri rolls her eyes. That figures. You've always been so immature. But I don't understand how you can't cheer them on. Q Muse and Q Marine. They're both like so awesome. They're only middle school students, but they have a lot of problems. I feel like I'm going back to a 90s television show, Dawson's Creek. Do 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 do. I don't want to wait for our lives to be over. Granted, that still had a better love story than Twilight. Q Muse is actually really shy, and Coumarine has a lot of brothers and sisters to look after. But they don't buckle down under the problems. They continue to do their best, both at school and when they're fighting the evil Dark Rangers. They worry a lot, and sometimes they think about giving up, but they never do. They fight for love, truth, and justice. I think it's very beautiful. Love, truth, and justice. I feel like that would be some kind of 90s slogan for Power Rangers. One day, I would like to grow up to be just like them. Wait, Cosmos, you're in a... That doesn't make sense! It's official. Cosmos is the all truth of this game. Right. Well, that's a very beautiful dream, Cosmos. Thank you. I'm glad you think so. But you're already grown up. You're a cat girl, not a kitten. And you shouldn't be worshipping magical girls at your age. The clue is in the name, dummy. They're magical girls, not women. These shows are supposed to appeal to 6-year-olds. You're way out of the target demographic. Isn't that right, Lady Yuri? Yuri looks to Lady Yuri for support, but... You can do it, Cool Marina. Don't give in. I'm rooting for you, Q Muse. You've always been my favorite. Yuri and Xburger seems to be pretty into this. And so does Steffi. Well, I'm not surprised Steffi would be enjoying herself, but Yuri's reaction throws me. Do you like magical ghost shows, Yuri? What? Yuri turns to me somewhat awkwardly, and her face begins to flush. I don't make a habit of watching such shows, of course. They are like, Yuri said, rather childish, but pretty cool is rather nostalgic. I used to watch it in the mornings when I lived in Japan. Back when I still attended high school. The cools back then were different, of course. They were cool Ivory and cool Ebony. But the show's still pretty similar to the way it used to be. I still keep up with the newest seasons when I can. It's an easy way to pass the time. It's not like I'm really into pretty cool or anything, though. Oh, now that's unusual. Yuri's actually blushing. I wonder what to make of this. I can't either say it's cute or it's a bit cringe, but oh, it's so cute when you see a beautiful woman blush, so it's cute. It's pretty adorable, really. I feel like I'm learning a lot about Yuri today. Huh? You like pretty cool? It's alright, I suppose. I think the fight scenes are a lot of fun. Oh, me too. Pretty cool is really awesome, isn't it? I've seen every single season to date. I like it a lot. I think it's a lot of life lessons we could all learn from. Hee hee. My favorite season is the 5th one, with Cool Peach and Cool Plum. But the newest season's not bad either. I really like Cool Marina. Hee hee, she's so funny. I was actually working on a cosplay of Cool Marina. I think my fans would like that. I'd like to see that too. I'm a huge Pretty Cool fan. You are? Of course. It is one of Japan's most popular TV shows. I wouldn't be able to call myself a Japanophobian if I hadn't seen it. Meanwhile, I'm actually Japanese, and I don't really understand the hype. It is just dumb kitty stuff. Oh, Yuri, poor uneducated Yuri. What? Why are you looking at me like that? I'm thinking it's rather sad that you don't understand the appeal of pretty cool. You're missing out. Your heart must be a weather dried out old thing indeed. Without love, it really can't be seen. What on earth are you babbling about? You're deluded.
I got Zone 3 by myself. I'm so
You,
happy.
you don't get pretty cool appeal, do you, Huako? Not that much, I admit. But then again, I'm a guy. I don't think I'm the target audience. None of us are. We're all too old for it. So you admit that you're getting on in years, then? What? No. How dare you? Yuri depends upon Cosmos. Meaning perhaps to pinch her cheeks, but before she can react to revenge, the MC cries out, "Oh, is that a familiar face I can spy in the crowd? At this, the crowd turn and muse. They're all staring at it. Soon transpires at, "You, over there in the pink sweater, are you Iki Yuri? What? Oh, Embarrassed at the sudden attention, Yui draws away from Cosmos and then says,
For your first one.
Yes, I am. It's me, Yui, in the flesh." A ripple runs through the audience at this announcement. They all seem to know who Yui is. Even the little kids who are watching the cools fighting with the wrapped in attention. I hear a young boy, at least I think it's a young boy, a few paces away, cry something that sounded like, "Yuri, is she really here? She's so cute." While a girl says, "Yuri, where is she? I want to see her. I want to hear her sing." The MC, who really ought to be narrating the cool's violent fight with their enemies, which is still unfolding on stage, grins, then says, "Well, isn't this a coincidence? I could hardly believe my eyes when I saw you, but you really must be Yuri. I'm actually a huge fan of yours. I've never dreamed I might see you one day." "Well," Yuri shrieks as she seems to have recovered from initial disillusions, and flipping one of her pictures over her shoulders, she says, "That goes without saying. I am Japanese #1 idol for a reason. Everybody loves me, and I love everybody else in return. I live for my fans. I love all of you." I'm glad to hear it. I don't buy she loves anybody for a damn minute. Maybe this is a little rude since you're having a day off and all, but if you really love us, would you mind coming up on stage? The crews could use some more support to help them fight off the Dark Rangers, and I think a song for me should help out. That'll give them the boost they need to keep on fighting. You want me to sing, huh? I probably shouldn't, not without clearing things with my agency, but... Oh, what the heck! I'd hate to let all these cute boys and girls down, so I'll do my best. I want the pretty cools to win too. I'm a huge fan of theirs. You liar! Cosmos mumbles this, but she does it so softly nobody notices. Yuri, now smiling anglically, walks through the crowd which parts for her, then ascends onto the stage with all the self-confidence of a goddess. "Here you go, Yuri." The MC hands Yuri a microphone which she accepts, smiling sweetly all the while. "With your beautiful voice, you should be able to defeat the wicked Dark Rangers for good and bring about world peace. I believe in you, don't you, boys and girls?" "Yes! You can do it, Yuri! I believe in you! Do your best! You're so pretty, Yuri! I did my hair just like you. Look, I'm your biggest fan. Now me! You're the best idol in the whole world! When I get older, I want to be you! When I get older, I want to date you! You can do it, Yuri!" Oh, my. Yuri surveys the crowd of cheering, whooping children with a small smile. Her face looks a little flushed owing to the sudden influx of praise. Yuri might talk about her fans in dismantle manner, in private at least, but I guess not even she's a hard-hearted enough to turn her noses up at a bunch of little kids. "It's very gratifying to hear those kind words from you. Thank you very much, everybody. Well, you might be a little too young to marry me. Yuri catches the eye of an jumptious young boy who all but proposed, then grins. I can certainly sing for you. I'll put all my into this song in order to fit the Dark Rangers for good. Now, do you think I can do it, boys and girls? Yes, you can! There's nothing you can't do, Yuri! You're my hero, Yuri! I love you, Yuri! You're so cool! Yuri! 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 Hee hee, that sounds like a yes to me! Thank you so much for believing in me, everybody. You've been so sweet. How can I not answer your expectations? Now please, listen to my song. Yuri clears her throat and then brings the mic to her mouth. Wait, do I gotta sing?
Yes.
Oh
You
God!
have to sing.
If I gotta sing these next, if I actually gotta sing in this, I'm gonna cry. Yuki Yuri's going to begin. There's a brief pause during which Yumi mentally prepares, and then a few seconds later she begins to sing. Yuri's song isn't accompanied by a backing track, as it usually is during her live performances, but that doesn't matter. This is a cappella rendition of her latest single, is beautiful in its own right. I always thought Yuri's voice was a touch too high-pitched, but now I'm starting to wonder whether I was judging her too harshly. I never realized until today just how gifted a singer Yuri is. She holds one arm aloft. She sings a glueless smile upon her face. The wind stirs at Yuri's hair, so it trips about her shoulders, and it's probably gonna, if the wind keeps going, it's gonna lift up her skirt. Because she's wearing a short skirt. Her violet eyes, meanwhile, seem to be sparkling. Yuri looks completely in her element, standing upon the stage as she is. Her confidence is overwhelming. So much so, I can't tear my eyes away from her, and I'm not the only one. The kids in the audience, too, are all staring at Yuri, their mouths open. They were cheering pretty loudly before Yuri began to sing, but now she's begun, they're all falling quiet. Nobody talks while Yuri sings. I don't think anybody's even thinking of talking. Yuri's singing really is captivating. There's something warm about Yuri's voice, something sweet and gentle. Listening to it makes me feel protected. Pads. No. I'm just gonna let that joke go. Moving on. It's been a long, long time since I felt this relaxed. Oh, no singing tonight. Yay. I get a break from singing. Time moves on and the park eventually closes. When this happens, I have to leave alongside my assorted group of succubi, plus one European princess and her ever-defuffled maid. Yuri wishes me a farewell and returns to the succubus realm after pressing a quick kiss against my cheek. Yuri, Cosmo, Steffi, Elizabeth, and I, meanwhile, have to take a train back into central Tokyo, where we all live. We're already at the station for about 10 minutes until a train arrives, and then we board it, alongside an influx of other guests from the park, all overspent after our busy day. Elizabeth and Steffi sit together, as do Yuri and Cosmo. I sit apart from them and smile while I watch them. Steffi is engaged in an animated discussion with Elizabeth about all the rides she went on, and the delicious food she ate, and all the fun she had. She's so excited I can hear her even above the rumbling of the train. Theme parks really are amazing. I am so glad I was afforded the opportunity to visit one. I never thought I would be able to have such an experience, not while I was growing up in the palace. For once, I feel like an ordinary woman, but goodness, it is liberating. Being ordinary has never been more fun. I would have to question Steffi's self-proclaimed normalcy, given she's profanity about her mentioned normalcy to her maid, but I don't cut into the conversation. That seemed crash, particularly when she's having such a good time. As for Cosmo and Yuri, meanwhile, well... they fell asleep on each other. And no, it's not in any sexual meaning whatsoever, Tasik. It's just nice, peaceful friends sleeping on each other. Oh. Isn't that cute and adorable? There's really nothing I can say to make this dirty, so I'm not gonna try. Meow. They're both fast asleep. Yuri's head is resting upon Cosmos' shoulder, while Cosmos' cheek is pressed against Yuri's forehead. Yuri's lips are pursed, almost as though she's waiting for a kiss, and her long lashes particularly seem to melt together. Cosmos' lips, meanwhile, are curved into a small smile. The train jerks back and forth, the wheels screeching on the metal tracks, but meow. Neither of them stir. Now this is quite the curious sight. I've never seen Yuri cuddled up so closely to Cosmo. Not of her own volition, at least. If she were awake, there's no way Yuri would stand for this. I can easily imagine her spring away from Cosmos, her brow frowned, and an angry cry of, "As if I'll cuddle up to you, you idiot. I don't want to catch your fleas or worse. For all I know, you might have rabies, you stupid good-for-nothing cat girl. Get away from me." Yuri isn't being her usual aggressive self right now, however. Not even she can maintain her peremptory pissiness when she's passed out, I suppose. Right now, cuddled up together like a pair of kittens. Though I know Yuri, of course, would be infuriated that such a thought ever crossed my mind. I'll keep this to myself as to not incur the future awoken Yuri's wrath, but meow. They look rather cute together. And you say you don't like Cosmos, Yuri. I muttered to myself, amongst by this turn of events.
Little tank around and hit up the points that gives you.
I'm sure you must like her deep down. This proves it. Complicated by some devious impulse.
You defend the tank as it does its thing. That's all it is.
I fish my phone out of my pocket, then angle it at the pair of sleeping besties. Open my camera function, swipe back a little in my seat, then click. There. Now I have a photographic proof of Cosmo and Yuri's closeness saved on my phone for future posterity. I have no plans of actually showing this photo to Yuri. I don't want her scratching my eyes out. But she looks so cute right now, it'd be a shame to let the moment pass without commemorating it in some way. I always remember this moment, at least, even if Yuri won't. I don't want to forget today's events, nor how much fun we all had together. I'm not a big fan of theme parks, but I really did enjoy myself. And I'm enjoying myself all the more now after seeing Yuri and Cosmo getting along so well. The train eventually pulls into our station, and when it does, I rise to my feet, stretching so my joints click. Then I step off the train alongside Steffi and Elizabeth. Cosmos and Yuri remain on the train, still sitting together, though they're both since awoken from their shared sleep. They both live a little further down the line, so they don't join us, though we do share quick farewells. The doors of the train close behind me with a hiss, and then it departs, taking Yuri and Cosmos deeper into the heart of Tokyo. Flanked by Steffi and Elizabeth, I winged my way back home to my cuddly run-down apartment. The sun has well and truly set at this point, and the streets through which I walk are dark, illuminated by the artificial orange glow of the street lamps and the moon which hangs overhead. My footsteps fall against the ground with a series of disconcerting thuds, which mingle with the sharp strikes of Elizabeth's heels. Steffi was animated enough on the train as she chattered 19 to the dozen with Elizabeth, but I think her energy is beginning to run out. She yawns, one hand pressed to her mouth, her body lifts to one side. Careful, my lady. Fortunately, Elizabeth is there to catch her, as any good maid ought, before she can careen to the ground. We do not have long to go now. Do try to hang in there. Oh, yes, my apologies, Lizzie. I did not mean to make you worry for me. I am just... Steffi yawns again, more tears bleeding into the corners of her eyes. So very tired. You push yourself too hard, my lady. You went on rather too many rides in too short a space of time. It is no wonder that you would be tired. While working too hard is a phenomenon everybody is aware, it is possible to play too hard, too. You are not accustomed to cutting loose, so of course you would be really after a day spent having so much fun. Yes, you might be right. I was running around an awful lot, hee. My feet are somewhat sore. Would you like me to give you a massage once we return, my lady? Would you do that, Lizzie? For you, my lady? Of course. There is nothing I would not do for you. You are very dear to me, and I wished for nothing save your happiness. Though I am aware, of course, that your newfound happiness is largely contingent upon Mr. O. That being the case, I would not be adverse to the idea of massaging your feet too, Mr. O. Would you wish it? What? Oh, I glanced away a little flustered by Elizabeth's earnest question. It seems a bit silly, really, to get so worked up over such a statement when I engage in all the manner of intimate relations with all manner of women, but I don't think I've ever had a foot massage before. Oh, foot massages are great, man. I'm honest as a dude. I've had a pedicure done on my feet and massage done. Granted, it was many years ago, but they're nice. But, if you can get your foot rubbed by somebody, particularly if they love you, that's nice. If you gotta pay them, it kind of sucks. It sounds kind of intimate. Is this something I'd be interested in? So let's see, I can say I'd rather not, or I wouldn't mind. I'm gonna say I wouldn't mind, because in real life I wouldn't mind either. I wouldn't mind, I guess, but I'm not sure why you seem so interested. Though, if I get to the place my hands over your cute so is in the process, I would consider it a victory. Cute? That's the last word I'd use to describe my feet, my own in particular. Geez, I can tell if Elizabeth is teasing me or not. It's hard to tell with her tone. It's so impulsive. This is all kinds of word. I've never met a woman so desperate to stroke my toes before. And that is a line in the game. I am not saying anything filthy, Tazik. That is a line in the game. Because I couldn't come up with something that weird. I shake my head, bemused, and resume my walking to my apartment. We're not too far away now. There's only about 5 minutes to go, and I feel, despite the strange trajectory of my conversation with Elizabeth, fairly relaxed. I'm ready to head back inside and get some much-needed shut-eye when... Here we go. Not for the first time I feel a shiver run down my spine. I felt this way before, and recently, too. This is the same sensation that assaulted me back at the park when Cosmo, Elizabeth, and Steffi were zipping on the bubbly tea. Feels like there's somebody or something watching me. Something with a truly terrifying presence. Mr. O? Is something the matter? Are you not that unrevealed at the process of me touching your bare toes, are you? What? Oh, no. If I'm being honest, my feet were the last thing on my mind this last half a minute. The unpleasant sensation which spread through me put all my other thoughts from my head. I still feel out of sorts, but though I cast my gaze all this way that I can't see anything which might be causing my discomfort. The street is full of shadows, true, which would make perfect places for any interlopers to hide, but I can't detect even the faintest flicker of movement. The uncomfortable coldness inside my veins, meanwhile, already seemed to have thawed. Was I imagining things? I hope so. There might have been any genuine physical threat, but the lingering what if has left me tense and edgy. What in the world am I getting so worked up about? Probably that emo chick we saw in the second part, with the big old things that actually had to calm me down because I was acting like a wolf. The following morning, I wake uneasily from my slumber after sojourning, or so it felt, in a rolling pit of anxiety, uncomfortable dreams. I don't remember what I was dreaming about precisely, but a lingering sense of unease clings to me. The last night passed uneventfully enough. After the sharp spike of anxiety I felt while walking back to my apartment, I still feel tense. Not even 8 hours worth of sleep was enough to soothe me. Why do I feel so disoriented? My head is throbbing, and it feels oddly fuzzy. My thoughts, meanwhile, are all in a muddle. When I swallow, I can taste something akin to iron on my tongue. Gross. I need to brush my teeth and my hair, too. I sweated a little while as I was asleep, too. My nightshirt is clinging uncomfortably to my skin. With arching limbs and a doubly throbbing skull, I sit up in my futon and glance around. Elizabeth, I imagine, will be in the kitchen working on breakfast.
Are you gonna be nice enough to pick him up? Or?
As for Steffi, meanwhile, it's strange that she isn't here. She woke me up these last 2 mornings without fail, smiling as she did like an angel. I guess she might have gone to have a shower early, though? That, that makes perfect sense, but
You get like an additional 15 minutes to exfil depending on where that storm is.
for some reason, Steffi's absence feels kind of not ominous. I can't help but worry that something is awry, but no, I try to tell myself I'm being foolish. I shouldn't worry so much. Nothing is wrong. That brief feeling of icy discomfort I felt last night was nothing more than a braless paranoia. It has nothing to do with Steffi's disappearance. Not that she's disappeared. She can't have. That's what I try to tell myself at least, but oh. It's just I'm looking in about my room that I notice it. There's an envelope laying on top of Steffi's futon, an envelope with neatly printed characters on it that read, "A Sakura Hiroko." How strange. Did Steffi leave me a note? I suppose I never know until I take a look, but this handwriting doesn't resemble Steffi's. I take the envelope with trembling fingers, then slice it open with my fingernails. Gently, I leave a little out of the envelope's interior, then scan through it. I process the black characters arranged upon the perfectly white paper, my brow frowning, and then... No way! A startled gasp falls from my lips. I can hardly believe it. I don't want to believe it. It doesn't feel real. But the sudden lack of Steffi in my bedroom leads this letter some credibility. If Steffi really was here, she would have wakened me up. She would have wished me good morning like she did yesterday and the day before that. She would have smiled to me and she would have thanked me for showing her such a good time yesterday. But of course, Steffi didn't do any of those things. She couldn't because she isn't here. She's been kidnapped. Somebody kidnapped Steffi? Oh no! No! Not the blonde woman! Not the princess! This is bad. We could be going to war. Japan versus a small country in Europe. Kidnapped? Elizabeth stares at me with wide, surprised eyes from the other side of the kitchen table. I've since shown Elizabeth the ransom note, and after scanning through it, Elizabeth now had just, and for good reason. Her skin, which is already pale, looks positively ghostly, so pale it reminds me of paper. Elizabeth's fingers are gripping the note so tightly, I'm worried she might tear it, and fearfully she might render the instructions upon it unintelligible. I reach forward.
Hold the touchpad and tap it in chat.
To tug it smartly from her gasp. The note does look a little crumbled, but other than that, it's not too worse for wear. I can still see all the most important information written upon the note, namely, that whoever left it has Stephanie in their gasp, and an abandoned warehouse by a wharf in Yokohama. The kidnapper, or kidnappers I suppose, there could be more than one of them, wants me to meet them at this warehouse as specific in this later this night in 2100 hours.
Somebody to come get you. Did you put your location?
The note is very clear too.
Touch your tag map. Okay, share your screen.
That I am aware I am to arrive at this rendezvous point alone. I want you, Hiroko, to come and see me. The note specifies, and only you. If you bring anybody else, the princess will pay. Do not force my hand. I have no desire to use violence. This unpleasant affair can be resolved peacefully of that. I promise you so, as long as you heed my instructions. The note goes on to specific that I should appear at this abandoned warehouse with a significant sum of cash on my person. After handing this cash over to the kidnappers, they will let Steffi go free.
Go over, press R1.
As far as for kidnap scenarios go, it seems fairly standard. Not that I know
what you want to do is you say,
much about kidnappings.
Can I get a res at H3?
I've never been in a situation like this before.
If you have in the name Ashley in your name, them boys will be all over that.
I have seen similar scenarios in movies, though. This really does sound like a plot of some bad action movie. The containers of the note itself are particularly cliche.
Should pop up the message saying that where you can type your message, say, "Can I get a res?"
So much so, I might have been tempted. to consider this whole thing an
H3.
elaborate prank
Yeah.
if Steffi really wasn't missing.
And
That's
then
proof enough, if
right,
nothing else, that
R2.
whoever left this note was being serious, perhaps lethally
There you
so.
go. And
What
then
would they do? I
open up
can't
your
help but
map.
worry to Steffi, but
Oh,
she'll
you
be
got one
alright.
actually in your name. Forgot you got
I'm
that
painfully
names.
aware with everything passing second that Steffi must be
Someone
at the
might have
mercy of
actually
these
come get you
mysterious
all.
gods. I'm sure she must be terrified. I want to save Steffi more than anything else, but I'm worried if I don't heed the letter,
That
I'll only
one
serve
in
to
the
put
blue
her in
truck,
further
I think
danger.
his ex-field's actually going to come over next to where you all are at.
Steffi's welfare is on the line.
No,
I
I
can't
mean
afford.
he's doing a contract right now.
I can't afford to screw
This guy
things
might
up.
actually get you though.
Any wrong move on my part could well prove to be
Yeah, he's coming
disastrous.
to you.
I need to think
Here he
about
comes.
this calmly and
He's coming for
logically.
you.
But but Elizabeth seems but Elizabeth seems to
Yeah,
have
you
worked
see,
up
look, he's
to think
gliding on
about
you.
things in
There he
terms
is.
like that. How could this
Why don't you
happen?
collie
How could I have let my lady be
one of the
kidnapped?
legends?
I'm supposed to I'm supposed to be her top maid. Looking after her is my duty. If I cannot do that much, then how much worth do I have? For I claim to love my lady, I truly am a failure. I will never forgive myself for this, not as long as I live. But all is not
Oh,
lost. I
let me
can get
send
her
you more
back,
schematics.
and I will. If the, if it is a confrontation this kidnapper wants, then I am not afraid to grant them it. I would not let them intimidate me, despite all of their cowardly threats. I am not afraid. I will storm into their hiding place, and I will retrieve my lady using any means at my disposal. Please wait for me, my lady. I won't let you suffer on your own. Elizabeth
What's the
strides forth,
point of
perhaps
wearing a costume if she's just not going to cover everything?
meaning to exit my apartment, but I stop her before she can retreat, resting a restraining hand upon her shoulder. You mean Elizabeth Tassoc or something else?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
watching your stream and I'm
y-
a little like, I'm kind of confused.
yeah, that's actually, that to us, that's actually not showing a lot of skin, believe it or
Oh
not.
my gosh.
Whoa, easy there, Elizabeth. Let's not do anything nasty. Can't you take a
Ian,
few deep breaths?
get
We
over
need
to
to
the
think about this
helicopter.
logically. Logically? Elizabeth scowls. How can I think about anything logically, Mr. O, when my lady is missing? For all we know, her kidnappers might be subjecting her to unspeakable tortures even as we stand here. We are doing nothing saving wasting time. If you can afford to take deep breaths, then you're
You
clearly not
act like the
regarding this
plates are
situation
like absolutely necessary. They're
with the
not.
degree of seriousness it deserves. For shame, Mr. O, but I thought you cared about my lady.
Guiding you to the helicopter.
I do care about her. I care about her immensely. That's why I'm asking you to slow down and to reconsider. There is no guarantee that Steffi is being tortured right now. Grim though
Man,
it might
come out
sound,
zone
I
3
presume
to
her
make sure you
kidnappers would
want
want to
it to
keep
the
her in one
exit
piece, at
logs.
least
What a legend.
until they receive the ransom money. But she really might be in danger if we ignore the warnings in this letter and we both go flying to rescue her. The letter states that I'm the only one who's to meet her.
That
Something
little
awful might
flaming
happen
sword
if
that
we
he's
don't
using is
heed it.
absolutely busted. I
What?
started
But
using
then,
that in the last
what are
match
we to
and I
do?
was like,
How are we supposed to rescue my lady?
shooketh.
We need to give it some thought. I don't much like the idea of hanging around waiting either. So how about this? I think we should go see Maria. Miss Watasachi, you mean? That's right. Maria's pretty smart. She knows her stuff. If anybody can give us advice, she can. And I think if there's really no way to save
It
Steffi
won't go until
beyond
they hop on.
bow, bowing to the kidnapper's worms, Maria should be able to help us produce the money they
Press
asked for.
press R1
I don't
and
much like the
RL.
thought of rewarding these
Map
kidnappers for
plate.
their wicked scheme,
Yep.
but playing along with them might be the only option available to us. The amount of money they requested is truly eye-watering. At least it isn't to a poor nobody like myself, but Steffi's welfare is far more important.
Yeah.
Like Elizabeth said
Well, I
herself,
doubt Johnny
I'm
is
prepared to do
the one
anything for her
that's
sake.
trying to actually
The money
please
is
you.
no object. I just want to ensure that Steffi's all right.
You got one of the best perks just now. I'm just going to tell you right now with
And
that little
there
extra
is
little
the
contract thing. Yeah, you get 30% more essence on
now.
contract completions.
Now we saw what Tazek said about the maid. What does he think about the business succubus Maria and how she's dressed?
And the maid literally has nothing covering her freaking
Side moves
side.
and legs. By the way, Maria is not my favorite succubus. I don't think mine is in here, which is kind of sad. We'll probably see her in Succubus 8. Yes, there is an 8th game coming out, so yes. When that comes out later this year, I will buy it and stream it. But Tasik says, no, don't think of the children. Children should not be watching this channel. A kidnapping. Maria surveys Elizabeth and I from across her desk. Her fingers steeply together and her green eyes narrowed. Elizabeth and I beeline for Maria's workplace after discussing the contents of the ransom note we received. After announcing my name to the well-dressed woman at the reception desk, we were soon ushered to Maria's office. Maria, fortunately, wasn't in the midst of a meeting, and she welcomed Elizabeth and I generally enough. Now the three of us are sitting here together in a plush, high-profile office located at the top of a tall building. In them, I can see Tokyo spread out beneath me like a diorama. The view from Maria's office is breathtaking, and her office
I've had
itself
diarrhea before.
is awfully fancy. I said diorama, not diarrhea.
Huh? No, I'm just chilling. That's why I jumped in your share screen. Y'all
And he's
caught me
watching my
like
stream,
throughout the
Ashley.
night.
I know Ashley has me muted because she doesn't want me to put her to sleep. I
Well,
guarantee
I
you,
don't think she wants to listen to you talk about your toes getting stroked or anything like that. So I'm thinking,
no, she did. You didn't get to hear all of that. The Elizabeth wanted to give me a foot massage, and I thought it was a little weird. That's right, but I went on a real
yeah,
life
one of
tangent
the
of.
girls wanted to give Doug a foot massage, basically, and she got into like talking about stroking toes, and it got a little weird because Doug was doing the same normal voice that he normally does.
Yeah, I've had pedicures and my foot massaged before. What's wrong with that?
You'll have to invite me because it's not letting me join up on you.
It's been long while since I found myself in Maria's office, and back then I didn't have much of an opportunity to look around. Maria does look very attractive in a suit, and it's been a while, I think, since I saw her in that getup, but that's not appropriate right now. Neither is Maria's fancy office. I'm too worried about Steffi to pay anything else much attention. Dear me, this does sound like a thorny situation. I can well understand why you are so concerned. I know that you care for Steffi a good deal, and I know too that Hufame is very fond of her.
I'm gonna get you
She would
all
be devastated if any harm were to befall her, as would
a
I.
wonder weapon.
Steffi is a good girl,
A wonder
even if
weapon.
she is a bit of an airhead, and she does not deserve to suffer. Indeed, she does not. That being the case, would you please help us? I do not like to make demands upon others. It is unseemly behavior for a maid, but this matter I fear is urgent. My lady's life may well hang in the balance. I cannot bear if she was to suffer. And do you think I could? My enemies might think me cold and calculating, but I am not devoid of human emotions. I, too, am rather fond of Steffi, as I believe I've mentioned already. I do not want any harm to befall her. That being the case, Maria ponders like crossing one long length leg over the other beneath her desk. I can lend you some money if you wish to pay
What
Stephanie's
stuff?
safety. How much did the ransom note specifically? I tell Maria the
The
exact number and
stressful
she
note.
nods.
Ian's like that little like dog that you just pick up that's a stray like when you're walking. It'll follow you and at
How
the
long have we been
second
streaming
that
for?
something catches its attention it is
1 hour.
off.
Alright, we're doing pretty good.
It'll come back
Uh,
to you, it just goes off.
that should not be too hard to produce. Are you sure? The kidnappers asked for a pretty hefty sum. Indeed they did, or at least they would have if they kidnapped a commoner. For a princess, however, the sum is partly one, almost curiously so. The precise amount of money they demanded is so low, in fact, when
Hey,
punched through with
he and I are the
Steffi's
same
work,
score or
it
same
makes me
level.
wonder whether
Look at
these
that.
kidnappers know what they're doing. They must be green when it comes
You
to
could just
business
plug in that.
negotiations. If they were sitting before me in the boardroom, I would make short work of them.
Y'all can do
They are
your
hopelessly novels,
contracts.
really, and worse
I
still,
gotta
they are
focus
cowards.
on getting
The
you
money they ask
these
for is but
wonderful
a
weapons,
penance
so
to a
I'll
woman
be
of my
like
caliber.
zooming off.
But I cannot
So
say
I'll
I
come
like the
back.
thought of rewarding them for their underhanded behavior. They deserve nothing more from me save my scorn. While I will give you the money the kidnappers ask for,
About
I
one
will
fill
prepare
this
it in a
time.
briefcase, in fact, for transportation.
I'm joking. I'm
I do
joking,
not
Ethan.
intend
I'm
for these
joking with you.
ne'er-do-wells to keep the cash. What are you suggesting, then? I've been desiring
Ian,
something of
calm
a
down.
plan while we've been sitting here, having this least than pleasant conversation. So say Maria toys with a lock of her pale, silvery hair, trying
Ian,
it
quit
about her
screaming.
finger. I have I have given the matter some thought, and I have
Hey,
decided that
we'll
I would
go here
like
for
to
a
aid
minute
you in
and just say Matt.
Steffi's rescue in a more intimidating manner beyond loaning out some money. I would like to
Here within the
accompany
next
you to the warehouse where she
few
is being
days, they
held,
should be
to
dropping
protect her
like the
if need
different
be.
locations for
Would you really
the
be willing to do
modules that
that?
you can do, which is what I'm gonna be
Naturally.
doing.
I am sure you and Cosmo will be willing to come along too, if I ask them. Hazel and Hooferme are too busy, unfortunately,
We'll
and I would not
set
wish to
this
unduly worry
coat back
Hooferme by
on
informing her
fire.
of this incident. By the way, Hooferme is my number one succubus in this game. Unfortunately, you don't get to see her, sadly. It makes me sad. Hooferme is a sweetheart, and knowing that Steffi is in danger would only worry her. Help should be not necessary, however.
Oh, you'll die.
With the aid of us three
Nah.
succubi, we should be able to overpower the kidnappers and retrieve the money, which you would first hand to the kidnappers, of course, as a decoy, Hugo. How does that sound? Sounds like a solid enough plan if Yui and Cosmo agree to it, but a glance over at Elizabeth. Didn't Maria let something pretty confident slip there? She just out and
Pardon,
announced
but
herself as a succubus along Yui and Cosmos. I thought that was supposed to be a secret. I wait on tender hooks for the moment that Elizabeth stares at Maria and she says, "Egad, what are you really?" And yet,
bye.
that sounds like a good plan. That sounds like a good plan to me too. Elizabeth nods, her expression unsurprised and unchanging. Did she not register that bombshell Maria just dropped? Perhaps she's so concerned about Steffi's welfare, she can't focus on anything else. That would make sense, I guess, but I thought this revelation that Succubi do, in fact exists, would be a bit more of an impact on her. Hey, Elizabeth, did you catch what Maria just said? That she would aid me in finding my lady? Yes, indeed, I heard it loud and clear. No, not that part. I meant more, how can I phrase this? I don't think there's any delicate way to put it, so I guess I'll just throw it out there. I was thinking about the succubus thing. Ah, yes, I heard that, but worry not. It comes as no surprise to me. Are you sure? Most normal people would be freaking out right now if
I'm
they
gonna
heard the
self revive,
succubus
don't worry.
exist. Perhaps most normal people would, Mr. O, but you forgot that I am not normal. As my lady's affordable, unflappable maid, it is my duty to take such information, no matter how shocking, in my stride. I lost my head before, upon learning that my lady was in danger, but I will not let that happen again. I will not let anything disturb me in my quest to get her back. Nothing matters more than my lady's safety, and in any case, I already knew that Miss Squargerson was a succubus. Did you, indeed? Yes, that is correct. The scent of a succubus is unmistakable. It is quite apparent the moment you step foot in Austria's palace. You and Miss Yamato and Miss Williams, Miss Yuki too, and Miss Horme, you are all succubi. I know it's no big surprise. Please do not expect me to gasp in horror, else you will be gravely disappointed. Well, I thought as much. I knew you were very astute. Now, I suppose we might as well bring our little tee-to-hee to an end here, but before that, I have a proposition I would like to make. And that position is, My, do not look so mistrustful, please. It'd be quite beneficial, I assure you, to all parties. You see, Maria smiles while continuing to toy with her hair. Though we succubi are stronger than ordinary humans, it is still possible for us to be overpowered. With myself, Yuri, and Cosmo present, we should be able to trump over our adversaries, whoever they might be, but there is always a chance things might go wrong. It has been a while since I last indulged myself, and I fear I am not in peak physical condition. This could soon be altered, however, if either you or Hunaka, or both of you, arrange to spend some quality time with me. What do you say? I know now might not be the best time, given you must be worried about the princess, but I'm suggesting this for Steffi's sake. If I do come to blows with her kidnappers, I would prefer to do so when I'm in optimal form. I do not wish to be weakened before a fight. That might impact our chances at retrieving Steffi. Elizabeth ponders Maria's words for a few moments before, after a pause, she nods. Very well. If what your suggestion would aid my lady, then I have no option but to consent. I too wish for nothing save her safety in my highest priority. I am prepared to perform any task for her sake, indulge in any vice. Wait a minute. Am I thinking is what was about to happen? What I think is going to happen here? I will stop at nothing to get her back. Very good. I like that answer. It is very decisive, and it is full of passion. Perhaps it will help to enrage your eyes, if only for a few brief moments. Perhaps it will. There remains to be seen. I am not, however, consenting because of my own enjoyment. I would never normally pursue my own pleasures while my lady is in danger.
I'm so confused. Is that bounty up there?
I am doing this for her. But of course, I would never dare to question otherwise. Now, what do you say about this arrangement, Huruko? Would you care to join us? Do I want to join in? Oh my god. Okay, I wasn't expecting this. So here's the thing. Before we save Stephanie, I can have a threesome with the succubus and the maid, or just leave the room and let them have the hanky-panky and have go-on-go action. So, you know what? If it's to save Steffi, we have to have the threesome. Well, that's a no-brainer. It doesn't require much thought at all on my part. Of course I'd like to help. I have no issues with this arrangement. Now, let's get down to business. I am definitely going to have to play the PC version of this and see how that looks later that night. Ooh! Tasik, this is two of them in their succubus form. How do you judge them as succubi?
Well, it hasn't loaded in yet. I'm about to do a ritual on them, an exorcist.
I would take Cosmo, the one with the purple hair, out of the two. She seems to be more of a happy succubus than Yuri, sorry. This place is seriously scuzzy. It's so dilapidated and ew. Did I just see a rat? Did you? How lucky! How is that lucky, dummy? Since when were rats a sign of good luck? I think rats are cute. I like their twitchy noses and the little pink tails. I wouldn't mind having a rat as a pet, actually. Maybe I could lure it with some cheese. Do you have any cheese on you, Cosmos? Of course I do. I'm part Italian. I never go outside with some mozzarella in my pocket. Your succubus outfit doesn't have any pockets, though. Oh, yes, I suppose you're right. Hee hee.
I swear, Ash.
Jeez, try to make this a bit more seriously, please.
I was trying to get you.
This is a kidnapping case. Steffi could be in real danger.
Where are we going?
And there's Maria's costume. Hello! Big boobs. I concur. This very seriously indeed. This is no time for Giuseppe. Giuseppe. And why, might I ask, are you laughing? Oh, there's no reason. I was just thinking Giuseppe is such an old-fashioned word. You really are an old lady, Marie.
Like a character from Disney.
Probably. Oh,
yeah,
old.
I think so. Giuseppe.
Maria scowls at Yuri, her expensive twisting. Well, how do you think Maria looks as a succubus, Tasik, since you said you're watching my stream?
Why are they black?
What is?
never.
What were you asking, Tasik?
Why are they black?
What the wings, the horns, or what?
Ian.
Oh, you must be talking about something, Uncle. Well, at
EA.
least, well,
It's at the bottom of the map. It's on the other side of the map.
have less of that, young lady. Not if you don't want a smacked bottom. I thought you yourself said this was serious. It is serious. Please put your petty squabbles to one side for now, and don't worry about the rats. My lady's safety is vastly more important. Yes, indeed. Now that we have all assembled here, we should be able to take on these kidnappers, whoever they may be. Things might be dicey with just you and I, Elizabeth, but Cosmo and Yui should act as decent enough backup. It is hard for ordinary humans to best run Succubus, but with the three of us, I don't have much fancy our assailants' chances, however many of them there might be. Our victory is all but assured, but it doesn't do to be too confident. There's always a chance there might be more people involved in Steffi's kidnapping than we are aware. It is an operation conducted by a large organization, say the Yakuza, then even we will have our work cut out for us. That being the case, let us go over our plan once more. Shrouded by the shadows of the abandoned warehouse that tower about us, Maria launches once more into her plan. As far as plans go, it's pretty simple. The five of us, Maria, Yui, Cosmo, Elizabeth, and I, come out here to the rendezvous point detained in that ransom note to meet the kidnappers who took Steffi and to negotiate with them. Maria, Yui, and Cosmo have already changed into their succubus attire, and the silhouettes look rather imposing when framed against the moonlight. We're yet to enter the warehouse where Steffi is supposedly being held, but I know we have to do that eventually. It is the only way, after all, to get Steffi back. Our plan when it comes to Steffi's retrieval goes like this. I'm to go inside the warehouse first, alone, as requested in the ransom note. I take with me a briefcase full of cash, which the kidnappers also requested. I'm to make a show of exchange the money with kidnappers, and when they're distracted, Elizabeth will creep into the warehouse to rescue Steffi. Well, this is occurring. Maria, Yui, and Cosmo will arrive to back me up, and they will take care of the kidnappers.
I can complete this contract by myself, and you all can just come back.
I don't know how many people are behind this operation, but I hope there won't be too many of them. Even if there is, say, a dozen men hanging about in that warehouse, it shouldn't be too hard for my succubus companions to dispatch of them. I've not seen Maria or the others unleash the full extent of their powers before, but I have no doubts they're stronger than most ordinary people. They should be fine. I hope they'll be fine at least. With Steffi rescued and the kidnappers down for the count, it should be simple enough matter to call the police and let them take care of the rest. This way we get to save Steffi and we'll be able to keep the money. I can't say I really relish the thought of heading into the warehouse on my own, but Maria said and Elizabeth agreed that this was the most sensible course of action. Remember, Hiriko, don't do anything to arouse the kidnapper's suspicion. Maria informs me once she's finished going through our plan for the ninth time. If this plan is to succeed, we need the element of surprise on our side. Let the kidnappers think you came alone, as per their notes says. If they see you, one-armed young man, they should let their guards down. That's when we'll step in. We'll take them all down, no matter how many men there are. I'll go bam, pow, yeah, like something from an action movie. You can call me Bond, Cosmos Bond, hee. I am not calling you anything other than idiot. Keep your voice down.
This game that Doug's playing.
Remember what Maria said. We need to be stealthy. Yeah, he just saw the third succubus, probably the Maria, the business succubus.
No, the lines that you're reading.
Oh. Well, Ashley doesn't get to hear him because she said it would put her to sleep, so she'll probably just watch the streams when she's in Philadelphia trying to go to bed.
My name's Bond. Cosmo Bond. Hee hee.
I've never been good. Oh, goodness. I've never been very good at stealth missions in video games. Hee hee. But Roger, I hear you loud and clear, Yui, or maybe soft in silence. I don't want Stephanie to be hurt, so I do my best to stick to the script. I'll do everything to secure her safety. And we shall do everything we can to ensure your safety too, Hiriko. When you've nothing to worry about. If any nasty miscreant dares to lay such as a finger upon you, there will be a great reckoning. I won't let any
Yeah, we'll hook you on the
blackguard
jaw
harm my
too.
darling. He, blackguard. Once more Yui smokes, doubtless amused by this antique expansion. And you say you're not an old lady. Everything that comes out of your mouth is like so uncool.
We'll go
I
on
am
to
not
number
old, and I
two
would thank
now.
you not to talk about what is cool and what is not. Aren't you the one who's been beaten in the church by a woman who's on the wrong side of 30?
I can
Eek!
hit y'all there.
Yui wrenches at this, then presses her hand to her chest. You didn't need to go there, Maria, you harpy. I'm still sore about the whole Senshu thing. Really? You're sore about it? But I thought you said you didn't care, Yuri. I don't care. Sister's property doesn't bother me, not in the slightest. I'm totally chill about it. I'm calm, I'm fine. I'm not worried that my crew might be crashing and burning, so let's not even talk about it. Everything's totally fine and dandy. Sure it is, whatever you say. I think we are getting off topic again. Now that our plan's been successfully hashed out, I suggest we set it into motion. Would you be so kind as to enter the warehouse, Mr. O, and parley with the kidnappers? I can tell that my lady is nearby, and would not rest until she has been retrieved.
What's up with my character?
My lady's safety is of the utmost concern to me. Everything else can wait. Right. I face the abandoned warehouse which
Don't
looms
mind me,
before
just
me,
gonna drive this vehicle.
with its
My body's
water-damaged
coming out of
walls
the
and its broken
windshield.
windows, and inhale. My fingers, which are resting at my sides, cure into a fist. A few moments pass, during which I gather what little remains of courage I possess, and then I'll do it. I step forth, tightly clutching the briefcase full of money Maria bequeathed to me earlier in her office. Just you wait, Steffi. I won't abandon you, not to the mercy of these vile kidnappers. We're all here, and we all want to rescue you. I'm going to look after
No,
you,
that's a
I
good guy.
promise.
We'll go to that one. It's a little bit closer.
Yuri was right. This place really is scuzzy. I glance about the warehouse's interior, all the while clutching the briefcase Maria gave me as though it's some kind of lifeline. This old warehouse has a high, tall ceiling, which seems to amplify every
That's the
single noise
bunches
I make, no matter how
inside
quiet. The warehouse has stood abandoned for many years, though
nuclear
how many exactly,
family.
I don't know. And the roof, which towers above me, is full of hose. I think we're actually going to finish this Let's Play tonight so Tazzy doesn't have to pray for my soul about seeing big boobies for a while.
I've been praying for you since I met you, sir.
Like I said, you're the little angel of the group
There's
on the
Pack
shoulder
a
of
Punch in
everybody,
there, Ashley.
and I'm the little devil on the shoulders of everybody. Though these hose rainwater has fallen and the ground is scattered with forded puddles, I step into one such puddle which soaks the sole of my shoe and my sock. I shudder to feel it and try to suppress a hiss of surprise. I don't feel at all welcome here, but this, I guess, is to be expected. Nobody should be here. I could probably get into legal trouble, I mused, while glancing about for trespassing, if the authorities knew I'd come here, but the police are at last concern on my mind right now. I'm more fixated upon Steffi and her safety and the status of the kidnappers. I've only taken a few steps into the warehouse, but I'm not seeing anybody suspicious just yet. Is Steffi really here? What about the people who held her captive? I'm starting to second-guess myself. Maybe several rats. Yui did say she thought she saw one back when we stood outside on the wharf, and unlike Cosmos, I don't think rats are cute. I have to side with Yui on this affair. I think they're perfectly revolting. Ugh. I shudder again. It's so cold, my teeth beginning to chatter. When I inhale, I can smell dirt and grim and rust. I turn a corner, squatting around a
Over here
heap
and
of
get
old
your
packing crates.
rewards.
My eyes rot in the opposite darkness, and then... Oh, no, that's just wrong. Why would you kidnap a beautiful woman and tie her to a chair? Who would do such a thing to Steffi, I wonder? By the way, Stephanie, nice thighs. Finally I spot Steffi. So she really is here. Steffi is sitting on a wooden chair, her arms and legs tied together, with lengths of a coarse rope. Her expression is an anxious one, as well it might be, given her dire circumstances. She looks afraid, but fortunately, it doesn't seem like she's come to any physical harm. That's a relief, if nothing else. The kidnappers haven't done anything too vile to her, at least I hope they haven't. Speaking of said kidnappers, I still can't see any trace of them. But I'm more concerned with Steffi's welfare right now. I dash over to her then cry, Steffi, are you alright? This seems like a bit of a stupid question to ask given the situation. It's obvious just to look at her that she isn't alright. But I feel a job should ask regardless. Steffi looks unscratched for the most part, but I need to double check. Hiriko, you came for me. Of course I did. I wouldn't just leave you, not when you're in trouble. I've been so worried about
We're
you.
getting into Doug's kinks over here with bondages and.
I don't do rope, thank you very much. I do handcuffs and whips, okay? And hot candle wax. And leave my kinks alone. I
If
am
you
glad.
pet the dog, you get a trophy for it. By the way.
I am glad to hear that. I
Then I'll
suppose,
just
though,
ditch it.
I must apologize for making you fret. You don't need to
Use it. You
apologize.
can
Not at
use
all. You
it.
did nothing
If not, just
wrong.
stow it.
The real villains are whoever tied
You
you
can
up.
pet the dog.
Oh, yes, indeed. At the mention of these as of yet unseen villains,
If there's
Steffi's
zombies
pretty
nearby,
face
it'll run after them.
blanches. I need to warn you about that, Hiriko. There ain't any villains, poor. There's only one. What? Did one person orchestrate all of this, then? Did they tie you up? Yes, they did, but... Damn it! They're geshter than I thought, but that should make things easier. If we're only up against one person, they should be easy enough to take down. We? Steffi blinks. What do you mean? I mean, I'm not alone. Elizabeth came here too to protect you, and so did Maria and Yuri and Cosmo. We're all here for you, Steffi. Oh my. I had hoped Steffi would be relieved at this news, but instead, she looked concerned.
Don't
I
hit
am
my
flattered
dog.
to hear that, of course, but that only makes me worry
Yeah,
all
he's
the
swung
more.
at it.
The woman who kidnapped me, you see. So the culprit behind all this is a woman. This is getting curiouser and curiouser. Isn't an ordinary woman. I have no idea what she is exactly. I've never seen anybody quite like her before, but she is truly frightening. I think she might be a demon. A demon? Yes, indeed. I know this might sound crazy, but please, Hiroko, you must believe me. Her powers are not of this world. If this weren't such a tense situation, I'd almost be tempted to laugh at that. Steffi doesn't need to worry about seeming crazy in my company. Not when I have a whole harem of sexy succubi lusting after me. If demons really do exist, I think I'll be prepared to take it in my stride at this point. I mean, why not?
Teleport.
So many things have happened to me already. Demons don't seem all that far-fetched. Hell, Steffi could even throw a vampire or two into her tail, and I wouldn't bat an eyelid. You need to retreat, Hiroko. You and all the others. It isn't me she wants. You see... I beg your pardon? She told me a bit about her plans. When she tied me to this chair, she told me I was never her target. I was nothing more than bait meant to lure you out. You ain't safe here. If you try to rescue me, she will appear, and then she will hurt you. I don't want you being injured for my sake, Hiroko. I would never forgive myself if that happened. Please, you have to... Steffi entreats me, or at least she tries to. But before Steffi can finish this heartfelt plea, I feel something collide with the back of my head. There's a dull, sick crack, which I realize a split second later must have emanated from my cranium. Oof! And then, with a low moan of pain, I slump forwards. My knees hit the cold, hard floor. No, Hiroko! And then everything goes black.
Hire me for the Fast and the Furious.
I got the platinum for that game on both versions, the 4 and the 5, the racing one. What? I blink, scatter white dots from the field of my vision, and lift my head. My head aches, and I can feel weight on my chest. My back is pressed against something cold and hard. My limbs feel numb, as though they don't really belong to me. I'll be right back, guys. I gotta go to the bathroom, but I'm gonna do a quick save in case something happens. But I'll be right back. Go potty, because I'm stringing this too long.
Should I take both of these, Tazig? Yeah, take both of them. So that Juggernog recipe will let you craft a can before we go into the game. Let's see. Let's see. We'll go. You should hear some of this stuff that Doug's over here reading.
Oh God.
I feel like I'm like listening to like an anime version of 50 Shades of Grey. What's taking you so long, Ian?
Oh.
Oh, kill him! Oh, get out! Get out! Get out! Get out! Run! Car's about to explode. Get down here.
I got a napalm. Ow.
Well, it's Ian.
I wanna pet that dog. Can I pet that dog? Can I? Aw.
Yes, Sylvania,
I was
hello.
like, I don't know why you're. It was glitch.
Why am I going through the car?
It's like you're literally sitting on.
And I'm back. Had to get me some water too because my voice is killing me. I can taste iron in my mouth and it's hard to breathe. What's going on? Why do I feel so weak? I blink a few more times and then, Well, if it ain't the woman we saw at the theme park who apparently is also a succubus who wants me for herself. I kind of called that, unfortunately. Finally, my vision comes into focus, and then when it does, I descend the source of my current discomfort. I'm lying on the ground, and there's somebody sitting on top of me.
Full.
A very attractive somebody who looks faintly familiar.
I said our squad's full anyway.
Oh, good. You're
Yeah.
finally awake. It's good to see.
You can only go into a lobby with 3 people. We can pick him up if he just manages to join our game.
It's good to see that you're alright, Mr. O.
But I'm not going to carry him.
Would it be alright if I call you Hiriko?
I already got one.
We become so close, it'd be awkward to keep using your family name. And I've liked you for quite a long time.
Got my in-game dog and then my dog Ian.
The woman sitting on top of me, pinning me to the ground with her thighs, has pale skin and long, flare hair. I've seen this woman before. I'm certain of that. Though during our last encounter, she was in a dangerously more lump state. Well, one of the succubus, I wish it was real life. I would be happy. I wouldn't be complaining about my foot. She was in a more
You'd be complaining about getting nowhere.
Hey, I said before in my streams many a times, if I die while having sex, I'll get to go out happy.
Yeah.
I remember now that I saw her in the theme park. I ran into her and knocked her to the ground. I felt pretty bad about that, so I offered her my hand, but she declined. Now, how did our encounter go? I think it was a little like this. Very sorry for getting in your way, Mr. O, but please forgive me for my
No,
clumsiness.
refill my ammo.
You
Y'all
have
just
to be
stay
too
in there.
good to me already. I could have not asked for more. Yeah, that's alright. I can remember being perturbed at the time on my account of her knowing my name. I wonder how she learned it, and when I had not the chance to tell her, but I never had the chance to ask. I
Hey,
never
go
thought
ahead
I'd
and
see her
stall.
again, but it seems I was mistaken. The woman sitting on top of me in this dark, dank warehouse is definitely her. Though, she doesn't look quite as I recall. She
Well,
descends
somebody
with
just
the
completed a mission.
filthy, fluffy Victorian-style attire, and instead, she's wearing something rather more form-fitting. I can see horns protruding from her scalp too, and wings from her back, black bat-like wings, which
I'm
flutter
gonna get you all to
behind
do
her.
one Zone 3 contract this match.
Yeah, I thought there was something odd about this woman when I first laid my eyes on her, but now I'm certain of it. She isn't an ordinary woman. She is instead a
A
succubus?
succubus.
Yep, that is correct. My name is Alice, and I come from the succubus realm. It is a pleasure
Don't
to
mind me just sticking
finally
my
meet
head
you.
out the
At long last, I have been waiting. Right, it's nice to meet you too, Alice. That isn't a
Well,
very Japanese name.
leave
It
the
sounds
car.
pretty Western. I can't help but think of the popular children's book with the blonde girl who tumbled into Wonderland, though this Alice has silver hair. There's something distinctly gothic about her, even attended in her succubus form. Well, I guess that fits. Edgy interpose Alice characters are pretty popular too.
Yeah.
The name's not a common one, but I think it suits this woman. And it doesn't really explain what she's doing here, though, or why she's straddling my chest in this old warehouse. What's going on? How did you know my name, and what do you mean you were watching me? Why can't I have a sexy stalker? You know, why can't I have a beautiful woman stalk me? I would be happy with that. But no, I can't get that in real life. Could it be? Have you been stalking me?
Just leave them.
Stalking is an unpleasant word. I prefer watching from a distance. So you were stalking me. That answers one question at least, but what are you doing here? I thought it would be appropriate. I wanted to see you, Hiroko. But why? Why, you ask? Alice frowns while resting her pale fingers against my chest, just above my beating
Repair
heart.
this car real quick.
It is because I like you, of course. You like me? Yes, I do. I like you so, so much. I don't know what to do with myself. I've liked you for a very, very long time, in fact. And though I try to keep my distance, I can no longer do that. It just isn't fair. Alice's expressions twist. I've been watching you, and I know that you are very popular among my succubus sisters. Maria is in love with you, and Cosmos and Yuri, and even Hufumi and Hazel. They all adore you. They dote upon you.
I seen you disappear. I was like, oh no.
Mm.
We just lost Ashley.
See, I would like Ashley to hear this voice because it's one
Oh
more.
my gosh, get out.
Tasha, because you're hearing me do Alice's voice, I think Ashley would probably be like, "Why are you doing it so sexual?"
Alright, come on. We're gonna go back into Zone 2. We'll take the long way.
There are some of the most beautiful succubi from our realm, but they all have taken a shine to you. This made me very, very curious about meeting you myself. I wanted to see what was so wonderful about you, that so many succubi would fall in love with you. And so I began to follow you. I wanted to learn more about you, and as I did,
Get that car.
I found myself growing more and more enamored. I started to fall for you, but my feelings for you weren't fully cemented until I saw you in the theme
I have
park.
to kill everything.
I knew, after you knocked me over, then offered me your hand, that you really were a good, kind man. I knew what my sisters had seen in you, and it was very good of you to care for a useless succubus like myself, who has never been in a relationship before, who is nothing more than a waste of space.
I got this. Get to the car, Ian.
Alice leans in as to bring her face, which is already very close to my own, only a few inches away from me. And so, I wanted to spend even more time with you. I want you all to myself, if only for one night. I want you to know just how much I love you. I adore you. I only hope before the night ends, you will grow to
Doug
love me
probably has the
too.
biggest hard on to anime chicks talking to him in a sexual way, voiced by himself.
My dear Hiroko. Alice Alice dips her
Ask the
head,
question again.
meaning I
Yeah, if
think
you
to
want.
kiss me, but I preempt her. I'm used to women trying to kiss me at this point, and I'm able to jerk my head to one side before
Yeah,
her
go
lips
ahead.
meet my own. Now, just wait a second. I'm very flattered that you feel this way about me, Alice. But you're a perfect stranger. I don't know the first thing about you. I don't go around kissing women I've never met before. Not
Okay,
often, at
welcome to
least.
Zone 3, guys.
I poured inside my head while recalling my very first meeting with Cosmos. I hope Alice doesn't know about that. Just how much does she know about me and my relationships anyway? How long has she been watching me? She must know me well enough at least to know about my relationships with Steffi, or she wouldn't have kidnapped her to lure me out. I'm pretty sure now that's what happened, but I'm like some confirmation of that fact. I especially don't kiss women who force themselves onto me either. Yeah, that's where this
Definitely
character
on
and me
track.
differ. Were you the one who kidnapped Steffi, Alice, and were you the one who wrote the ransom note? There's a brief silence during which Alice observes me, her eyes narrowed
Oh, yeah.
before she replies.
We'll get something good from this one.
Yes, you are correct. I did kidnap the
The
Austrian
biggest thing
princess,
you gotta remember
and I
about
did
this
write that note.
contract
Aha, I
is
knew it.
get up high. For some reason, it glitches him out. He doesn't know how to react when you get up to a high point.
I did it so you would have no choice
So,
but to come up to you, but I didn't know how else to approach you. I've always been shy, you see, and awkward. I was afraid you would not give me the time of day otherwise if I did not do something drastic. So many beautiful women are in love with you already. I doubt you would pay me any attention unless I did something crazy. I apologize for my underhanded actions, but I really was desperate. I want us to be together. I want you in a way I've never wanted anybody before. You were so kind to me and so considerate. Surely you would not push me away. You're heaping off a lot of expectations upon my shoulders here. It doesn't seem very fair. I look away from Alice, my brow frowned. She is pretty,
watch out
yes, that
behind you.
that much is undeniable. But a single obsession with me, not to mention the lengths she went to get my attention, are pretty yikes-inducing. Remember, children, remember, everybody, don't stick your dick in crazy, or else you're doomed for life. I don't think I want to commend this sort of behavior. Damn it, if I wasn't trapped beneath her, I'd give her shoulders a good proper shake.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sorry, but I don't think I can forgive you for dragging Steffi into this. She's totally innocent. Now let me go. I am
Pretty
sorry,
close.
but I cannot do that. Not when I have went to such lengths
Gosh,
to claim you.
dude, one of these guys
Now that I
behind you.
have you, Hiroko, I won't let anybody come between us. I won't let anybody interrupt our love. I just want to know what it feels like to be adored.
There it is.
What do you mean you won't let anybody become between us? Did you do something to the others? What about Maria,
I
Yui,
got
Cosmos, and
I got a
Elizabeth?
ray gun playing if anybody
Oh,
wants it.
them. Do we really need to talk about that lot? Yes,
Take
we
the ray
do.
gun playing
I'm
and
worried
take the
about them.
rituals.
You didn't hurt them, did you? No, I didn't. I'm not powerful enough to harm my Succubus sisters. They are all more proficient at magic than I am. I only use my abilities to
We're gonna
waylay
do one
them.
more here
They
in
should at
just a
this moment
second.
be in quite a bind.
I'm
I
gonna go
doubt they
up
will
here
be
and get some more
interrupting
ammo.
us, not for half an hour or so at least. Huh? What in the world did Alice do to Maria, Yui,
Where
Cosmos, and
is
Elizabeth?
Ether
I can
Storm?
only imagine. Maybe it's a little
Yeah, we
something
got
like
time to do
this.
one more contract.
Damn, damn,
We'll
damn!
exfil after this.
Look at all that
Yeah,
beautiful.
you can't just.
uh, Okay, I can't really beat the allegations on this one, about my love of weird anime games at this point now on this channel with this picture, unfortunately. Tatsik's going to be going to church on Wednesday saying, Church, can we pray for my friend Doug? He has an addiction and he needs help with it.
Here's how I see it, Doug. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink.
That is true.
Guys,
This is humiliating. I can't believe I let this happen to me. Whatever is this stuff anyway? It's so slimy. Could this be the work of a succubus? It's impossible that a human could have conceived of something like this. I thought the princess had been kidnapped by a group of ne'er-do-wells, but this is really beyond the pale. This is so disgusting. Cosmos, Yuri, Elizabeth, are you three alright? That one's even worse!
Oh my god. Doug.
See, I can't send any pictures because Ashley doesn't look at them. Joe doesn't care about boobies. And unfortunately, well, Dave usually watches these and Travis after they're done.
Gosh, get out.
And Matt, unfortunately, Matt would just pass out with all this sexiness. No, I certainly am not. There's some horrible, slimy things clinging to me.
Right.
It's clinging over my body. Eek!
What
Me
happened,
too. I'm being covered in some strange liquid. Oh, is that a solid? I cannot tell, but
Ian, you're going to have to unmute your mic, sir.
Doesn't feel
good. Communicate with us.
It's gross and it smells foul. Sniff, sniff. Well, why are you smelling it, you weirdo? I wanted to know what it reminds me of, and I think I have it. It reminds me when I went on Teriyaki's quiz show. I got every question wrong, and then I was covered in slime. I felt like this, but this slime is, it feels like it's moving on its own.
Try to get to you, Ashley.
It must be enchanted. These restraints are made of magic. I can feel them. Nullifying my own powers. I feel so weak. Some help you. I thought you were meant to be the mature, reliable one. I am mature and reliable. At least I try to be. I'm certainly more mature and reliable than you are. My powers do have limits, however. I haven't had a chance to counterattack before this awful, vicious liquid was upon us. Now it has me snared. I'm not sure what to do.
So what we're going to do, we're going to hit this rift over here.
No.
You're just going to
I cannot let things end like this, not when my lady is in trouble. I need to help her. I have to help her, but I cannot move.
Don't worry about it. Just jump in the portal.
If you lay your filthy fingers on me, my fans will lynch you. You say that, but doesn't slime even have fingers? It feels so gloopy. I don't know, and I don't care. I just want to get off me. It doesn't feel good. I know how I feel. I feel like I want to peel my skin off. This is the worst. I can't stand it. This is utterly humiliating. I don't know who is behind this cowardly attack, but when I get my hands on them, I'm wringing their neck. I won't stand for this. Is that why you're laying on the ground then? Oh, shut up, Cosmos. You're not helping. I'm sorry. I thought it was a funny pun at least. I wanted to lighten up the mood. But maybe I should have said anything. Arnie seemed to make things awkward. As if things couldn't get more awkward than this. Where's Hiriko when you need him? Won't he come and help us? What is that idiot doing anyway? Currently being tortured by a sex demon. Hey, I stared Alice's face into her striking eyes. She still pinning me to the ground, her fingers curled about my wrist. Her arrows bore into mine with disturbing intensity. So much so I shudder. What did you do to the others? Don't tell me you hurt them. I won't tell you anything. I'm under no obligation to do that. Not when you refuse to honor my wishes. I told you not to come here with other people, didn't I? I believe I was very practical about that in my note. You were, it's true, but nothing. I told you to come here alone, Hiroko, but you didn't listen to me. You ignored me. You betrayed me. You hurt my feelings. But that's fine. I can forgive you for that. I would forgive you for anything, Hiroko. You could call me names, or pull my hair, or spit on me, and I would still adore you. Bitch, you got some problems! I love you so, so much, and I want to show you that. I want to show you how serious I
Well,
am.
you can go play zombies by yourself then.
The other women you see might say they love you,
Be all
but they
nice
don't
and
care
safe. I'm
about
just trying to
you
help you all get good stuff.
as much as I do. They don't think about you every waking hour. They don't understand.
He
They
said something
can
about zone 3.
they can never
Go ahead
understand.
and call in that exfil helicopter. I'm just getting more ammo.
But I would like to think that you might be able to understand me, that you might love me.
Now this is a zone 2 exfil, so it'll get a little bit harder than zone 1's, but it shouldn't be too much.
Alright, Rosie texted me. I will look at that later. Oh, apparently John Cena showed up naked at the Oscars. Huh. I want to make you all mine. Then nobody can come between us, not Maria, or Cosmos, or Yuri. Alice's eyes flashed dangerously, or even that foreign princess. Alice tips her head and then pushes her mouth against mine. I gasp into the kiss, surprise which Alice, of course, uses to her advantage. Her kiss is deep and intense, and I sigh against it. It feels as she kisses me like I'm sinking into a deep, dark swamp, all the way to the bottom, to a realm utterly devoid of light, for which I'll never be able to escape.
Get on the helicopter.
Alice is completely in her fall. She caresses my cheek with one hand, and staring at me, she murmurs in a low voice with lust, "Oh, Hiroko, you really are sweet. I was right to fall for you. I can't think of any man who would I like to be with more than you, or any woman for that matter. You feel so good, and you taste so good too.
Now you got
Can't-
ray gun plans. You can craft a ray gun at any point in time.
Can't you hear my heart pounding? I feel like I'm going crazy." Soft sighs fall from Alice's mouth as we kiss, which if it weren't in such a precarious situation, I might find cute. As it is, however, I feel pretty gosh darn uncomfortable to be in this situation, and not in a physical sense. Alice's kisses feel like they're draining me. My body grows cold as she continues her onslaught of affection. The tips of my fingers are starting to feel distinctly numb, so much so I can't bend them. Alice's ardor is snapping my own strength. I know as Alice continues to kiss me that I'm in a pretty dire spot. Alice might be slighter than me and shorter, but I'm in no fit state to throw her off of me. I'm too tired. Like a hopeless princess from a fairy tale, I need somebody to come and rescue me, but who? The only people who know I'm here are in similar state of hopelessness themselves. Maria, Yuri, Cosmos, and Elizabeth are all fell into Alice's trap. They won't be able to rescue me. Is this really it? Is this how my life ends? I don't want this to happen, but what can I do? Is there anything I can do? I'm only a human. I'm weak and feeble, positively puny. Alice, meanwhile, is much stronger than I am, and she gets strong with every kiss she steals from me. I can't withstand her. I'm almost beginning to give up hope when... Excuse you, but that is my boyfriend you are currently sobbing over. I would advise you to get your hands and your mouth off him if you know what's good for you. This is shameless behavior, even for a succubus, and I would not stand for it. Oh? Alice stares, perhaps embarrassed, and glances over her shoulder. I glance too past Alice's head to the mysterious interloper who stepped inside the warehouse, and when my eyes meet theirs, I stare. Oh, it's the succubus queen, who's also my girlfriend. Ah, I know this woman with her cool icy gaze and her intense indomitable aura. It's none other than Yui, the queen of the succubus realm. She must have been watching me from the succubus realm, as she occasionally does. She must have seen too when I found myself in this dire situation. Now she's come to save me, just like I dreamed. Damn, now that's a little embarrassing. I'm distinctly embarrassed being seen in an embarrassing position like this, pinned boldly beneath Alice, my mouth swollen from the intensity of her kiss. Would that make Yui the handsome prince then? If I had to describe Yui's expression in a word, I'd say that she looks pissed. If granted 2 words to describe the look in Yui's face, then I'd say she looks really pissed. Yui's isn't directed towards me, but to Alice. But even so, I feel myself shuddering. If looks could kill, Alice would be dead 10 times over. Alice so seems to realize this because she gets to her feet, then stares at Yui alarmed. Lady Yui, what are you doing here? What do you think? Yui surveys Alice, scoring her eyes narrowed. I noticed that you were taking liberties with my boyfriend, and I thought I ought to put you in your place. Though I agreed to share Hiriko with some of my other subjects, I made no such agreement with you. You do not have my permission to lay as a finger on him, much less kiss him. You have been a very, very naughty girl indeed, and as such, you deserve to be punished. Huh? Your boyfriend. A dumbstruck Alice looks at me, then back to Yui. Quickly, she puts two and two together. It's no mystery based on Yui's speech what our relationship is, then gulps. Did you mean to say that you're in a relationship with Hiriko too? Indeed, I am.
Yeah,
Did you not know that?
Like 2 seconds to take my contacts out.
I am surprised that this matter escaped your attention, given how intently
I'm actually going to call it a night.
you have been observing him.
Really exhausted. I've been up since about 5 o'clock this morning, so.
And I'm sure my reading's putting him to sleep too. Good night, Tasik. I suppose you didn't know him as well as you thought you did. How sad. And you thought you were in love with him. What a joke. You can't love him all that much if you didn't know that he is the property of your queen. Now. Yui extends her palm, and when she does, dark energy begins to gather about her fingertips. Yui's eyes, which were already hard, and fully grow harder still as she stares Alice down. Would you kindly leave Hiriko alone? I shall overlook this indiscretion, gross though it is, if you promise to leave and to never interact with him again. If you are unable to do that, though, then the darkness slowly about Yui's fingers grows more and more pronounced. You and I will be at quite an impasse. I don't... Powerful though you may be after feeding on Hiriko's essence, you cannot hope to compete with me. I am your queen, and I have ways at my disposal to make you bow to me whether you wish it or not. When it comes to a competition of war strength, you cannot win. Now be a good girl and stand aside, or I will make you. Alice takes a step back, but she holds her hands to her chest, her expression sticking, then says, I didn't want things to end like this. Then maybe you should step away from Hiriko before things get nasty. Believe me, I do not want to hurt you either. I know that, but Alice swallows. I didn't want to get on your bad side, my lady. Truly, I did not. If I had known that Hiriko was your beloved, I wouldn't have been so brazen in pursuing him. You ought to have been so brazen in pursuing him regardless of our relationship. It is in bad form, to force yourself upon someone who does not care for your affections. No succubus should resort to such aggressive tactics. You have brought shame upon us succubi with your actions. It is not me you should be apologizing to. But really, Huniko, you subjected him to a great deal of abuse, all in the name of love? Here, Yui shouts. As if what you felt for him was really love. Regardless of what you claim, when you had no compensation for making him feel so uncomfortable. What I felt for Huniko, was it not love? Not. It was not. What you felt was obsession. It is quite different. Obsession? But that sounds so ugly. Alice sniffles, her eyes begin to bleed with tears of embarrassment. Perhaps at her own actions. I'm still streaming, so... I figured me reading put Tasik to bed. Like it does everybody else. I thought my feelings for Hiriko were pure and sure. This is why I pursued him. I would never have attempted otherwise. I was certain that my feelings must have been love. But you are saying I was mistaken. I am certain that you were. Yui lets her hand drop as she speaks, and the dark magic energy pulsating about her begins to dissipate. She must have realized, as I have while listening to Alice, that she isn't about to launch a counterattack. Alice looks too forlorn to try and strike a blow against Yui. Even if her heart wasn't breaking, which it seems to be, I don't think she would try to attack her anyway. Alice seems to respect Yui too much for that. I can say this with certainty, for I am speaking from past experience. Once I too mistook my petty, envious feelings of obsession for love. I pushed my feelings upon Huniko, one-sided though they were, and I made him suffer for them. I told myself that this was the true nature of romance, but now I know I was mistaken. Love is not something you can force on somebody, not without their consent. If you truly love somebody, it should manifest in wanting them to be happy, regardless of whether they wish to seek that happiness with you or not. Wait, but that sounds painful. I don't want Huniko to reject me. I want him to stay with me. I want to know what it feels like to be loved, just like you and the rest of my succubus sisters. Huniko loves all of them. He even loves Yui, despite her bad attitude. So why can he not love me? What's wrong with me? Why does nobody care about me? Why? Why can I never get what I want? I just wanted to know for once what it felt like to care for somebody, and to be cared for in return. Was that really so much of very awful of me? Did I really do something that unforgivable? Please tell me, my lady, I will always be alone. A few moments of silence pass, during which Yui regards Alice and Alice regards Yui. During these quite understanding moments, neither of them speak, perhaps neither of them knowing what to say. Alice is inhaling sharply, her breathing ragged as her chest rises and falls. Yui meanwhile regards Alice with a curious expression upon her face. Yui doesn't look angry anymore, at least, but I'm not sure if she's sad either. Is she pitying instead? Does she feel sorry for Alice? Oh, Alice, you poor misguided thing. Yui takes a step forth and hears for her formidable shoes striking against the ground. Huh? Alice shakes away from Yui like a startled cat might, but Yui doesn't draw. Instead, she continues to walk towards her subject until they're only a few feet away from one another, and then Yui reaches out. Eek! I can tell as Alice recoils that she fears Yui will enact upon her some kind of violent vengeance. She must be experiencing some kind of blow, perhaps a sharp across the face or fingers Yuing in her hair, but contrary to Alice's expectations, Yui does none of those things. Ah, we got another trophy, Common Ground, and that's a lovely picture. Instead, she takes hold of Alice's trembling hand, then says, her voice gently and almost motherly, No, I do not think it's a bad thing to want to be loved. I cannot judge you for that. My lady? Surely Alice cracks her eyes open and surveys Yui, blinking at her from beneath her sweep of long, dark lashes. Alice's expression is incredulous, as though she can't quite believe what Yui is saying or doing, and for good reason. Only 3 minutes prior, Yui threatened to obliterate Alice. Now, however, Yui's expression is almost tender. My lady, you mean I thought that you were mad at me. I was mad at you when I saw you had resorted to such underhanded tactics to gaining Yuriko's attention. I am still mad at you, in fact, for forcing yourself upon him so, and leaving him quite powerless to resist. But I cannot judge you too harshly for your own actions. As I said, I was once like that. I thought much like you did. I told myself I was in love with Yuriko, and I used my feelings to justify committing many awful actions against him. I took away his freedom, and I tried to forcibly steal his affections from him. I thought this my right as his first ever partner, and the queen of the succubus to boot. But I know now I was only making excuses for myself. Deep down, I think part of me realized my actions were bad. In trying to bend Huniko to my will, I ran the risk of ruining whatever remained of our relationship, and that if I had been allowed to continue, would have been a true pity. My relationship with Huniko is very precious to me, after all. It is more precious now than it was before, because after relenting in my advances, I finally gave Huniko the opportunity to love me properly. I gave him a choice, and for that is what all relationships are about. Both parties must consent to love one another. It is not something that can come about through force. I had to learn this lesson the hard way, through much trial and error. I only hope you can come to learn this too. My lady, I had no idea you ever felt like that before. I thought I was alone in my feelings, and my one-sided obsession, as you termed it. I didn't think anybody would be able to understand me. I was afraid I was broken. You ain't broken. You were lonely. That is all, and jealous. I can understand these feelings well. I too was lonely, ruining away my days in the succubus realm. And when I was horribly, horribly jealous when I saw Hugo carrying around with my subjects, including my older cousin, I was so jealous I could hardly stand it. What? Then you and I? Alice blinks as she does. She disturbs a few tears clinging to her lower eyelashes. These tears course down her cheeks, then dip onto the dirty floor of the warehouse. Are we similar? We are, or at least we were. I am not the pretty, invictive, angry woman I once was, or at least I am better able to keep my ugly emotions in check. I still have a long way to go, but I'm still young, and I'm sure I will change much in the years to come, as will the nature of my relationship with Hiroko. That is how we all are, though, human and succubus. None of us can remain the same. No matter how wretched you may feel right now, Alice, you can still change it. It is not too late. With time, patience, and genuine effort, I'm certain you can become a better version of yourself too, a version that you are able to like. Do you really think so? I am certain of it. I am your queen, and so you ought to listen to me. My word is the law, and I am confident when I say, despite your actions, I do not think you're an evil person. You are just misguided. You wanted to be loved, so you forced your feelings upon Hiroko. I can understand this well, and I will not condemn you for it. Instead, I would like you to become your friend. I think you deserve it. Your friend? Alice gaps at Yuri, her eyes almost comically wide. But, my lady, I am but a lonely succubus with hardly any power to call my own. I am unsuccessful, and I have no friends, and I have no special talents. My furry succubus sisters all think of me as a failure, and they're right. I've never been able to seduce anybody before, not in my whole life. How could you ever want to be my friend? I don't deserve it. Now that, you see, is your problem. You need to learn to like yourself, and then perhaps you'll feel less inclined to seek affection from men like Hiroko, who are unwilling to give it. Please try to have more confidence. You are very pretty in your own way, and I think you are strong. You can overcome your affection as surely as I could, so as long as we stay together. My lady, oh, my lady. Alice whimpers, and then after a pause leans forth and lets Yuri embrace her, her head cradled against Yuri's chest. I do not think I am worthy of your affections, but if you insist upon being so nice to me, then I will accept them. It'd be rude to reject your offer to cheer me so. I would like to be your friend. I would like it very, very much. I am tired of being alone. Shh, it's all right, Alice. You ain't alone, not anymore. I am here, and I want to comfort you, I promise. That is what friends do, after all. Friends, I hear footsteps and then a devious laugh. I suppose that's easy enough for you to say, Yuri, when that woman, Maria points an accusation finger in Alice's direction, didn't humiliate you. Oh. What did Alice do to humiliate you, might I ask? Well, it was very sticky. Slimy, too. Sticky and slimy. It's horrible, and it stinks like rotten eggs. I feel like I need a shower. Me too. This is like one of the worst nights I've had in my whole life. This is even worse than that one handshake event I staged where a crazy fan of mine tried to cut off a hunk of my hair to keep as a souvenir. My, that does sound like an unpleasant fate, indeed. Don't tell me you were humiliated in Santa Manor, Maria, by this mysterious, sticky, slimy substance. Maria grins her teeth together, aggravated, and glances away. No, I won't dignify that with an answer, not when you're taking such obvious amusement in my plight. For our queen, you don't seem to care about the welfare of your subjects as much as you ought. I will care about your welfare, Maria, when you show me the respect I deserve. I cannot help but note you still, even after all this time, refuse to address me as my lady. Maybe I'll address you as that when you start acting like a ruler ought. I cannot believe that you would forgive Alice after all she's done. She deserves some manner of punishment at the very least. You've gone soft. I suppose I might have mellowed out somewhat. It is true after I commenced my relationship with Hiroko. But I do not think that is a bad thing. I am happy the way I am now. I am not that angry, indulgent woman I once was, forever spoiling for a fight. Although, Yuri's eyes hardened, you do test my patience at times, Maria. How do I test your patience? I did nothing wrong. I was trying to help you, Hiroko. This wench... This wench over here is the one who caused all of these problems. Eep! Alice doubts afraid of Maria takes a step back at this and hides herself away behind Yuri's back. Yuri notes this because of course she does and sighs. Maria, please, don't raise your voice. This is no way to endear Alice to us. Can you not see that she is afraid of you? She should be afraid of me. She deserves a good spanking after what she did. A spanking? Alice trembles, feeling like a baby bird. This is oh so ridiculous. At this point, I couldn't care less who's to blame for whatever the hell it is that has happened tonight. I just want to get out of this cold, miserable warehouse so I can have a shower. Cosmos is right. The stuff really does stink. It's ruined my hair. Maria frowns. I'm not happy about letting Alice off the hook so easily, but I suppose I concur I too would very much like to have a shower. Me too, showers are the best. Banzai! Let us do that then. Here we go. Yuri approaches me, then helps me to my feet. Would you mind escorting us back to your apartment? I think we should be able to relax then. Sure, I guess there's no problem, but what about Steffi? I'm about to say, but my curiosity Q is interrupted by an aggravated cry. Stephanie! Oh, Stephanie! I was so worried about you. Lizzie! Lizzie, is that really... Oh. Why did the maid change her out? Oh, yep, Elias. So Elizabeth is a succubus too. Oof! Steffi gasps, unable to make any further remarks as Elizabeth descends upon her. Elizabeth feels Steffi from her stance swiftly with nothing save a swap of her fingers and draws Steffi's body close to her. Elizabeth's arms twine protection about Stephanie's shoulders while she pulls Stephanie's head to her bosom. As far as reunions go, it makes for quite the touching scene, but there's something a little off about Elizabeth's appearance. Elizabeth isn't wearing the black and white maid's attire she's donned before. We made our way to the warehouse. She's forgotten her usual dress, and instead she's dressed in something slightly more skin tight, and something which bears great resemblance to the clothes my succubus companions wear. From Elizabeth's head, meanwhile, a pair of horns spout, and from her back I can see the distant bat-like wings that Maria, Yuri, and the rest sport. I had suspected this, of course, back in Austria, or to be more precise, Hoover May Hazel Maria had suspected it, but to have it confirmed comes as quite the shock. I guess Elizabeth isn't an ordinary woman after all. Lizzie? Stephanie stares at Elizabeth, her eyes wide. What in the world is going on? What are you wearing? That is a long story. There's much I have to tell you, my lady, but for the present, I am simply relieved to see that you're all right. I was so worried about you. Well, you needn't worry any further. I'm quite all right, despite being treated somewhat roughly by this Miss, Alice. Steffi confesses is so pale, I can practically see the question marks hovering above her blonde head. Though I do have to wonder, at all I've heard and all I've seen, I've never seen a human with wings and a tail before. Not until I met Miss Alice. I thought they might perhaps be props, but then Alice started to speak of being a succubus, and then Yuri appeared. Steffi stares at Elizabeth, her green eyes wide. Is this some sort of practical joke? It is no joke, my lady. Alice really is a succubus, as is Yuri, Cosmos, and the others. We are all succubi, myself included. I kept this a secret for you for many years while working in the Austria Palace because I feared you would take it against me. I did not want to frighten you. While working as your maid, I tried to suppress my instincts as a succubus so we might be close companions, but alas, when I saw that you had been kidnapped, I could no longer help myself. In my arrogance, I could no longer maintain my human form. I tried to resume my old appearance before returning to you, but I could not. This night has been very stressful. I feel quite unlike myself. I can no longer conceal my true self from you, but know this, my lady. No matter what I look like, and no matter who I am, I shall always adore you. You are my beloved princess, and I would do anything to protect you. Oh, Lizzie, I cannot pretend I understand what I've seen and heard tonight, nor that I can make heads nor tails of your strange story, but... Steffi twirls her arms around Elizabeth's waist as to hold her close, and then says, I wasn't afraid. You really are the best maid I could ever have asked for. You do not resent me, then, for keeping secrets from you? Of course not. How could I resent you when you have been by my side for so very long? Whether you are a human, a succubus, or goodness, I don't know, an with abomination from the beyond the stars, you will always be Lizzie to me. Oh, my lady, you are so good to me. You are too good, in fact. I do not know whether I deserve your understanding, but now I have received it, and I will do all in my power to prove myself worthy. From this day forth, I vow that I shall be very transparent with you. I will tell you the truth about myself, the whole truth, so please do not turn against me. I cannot bear that. I never would. I want to stay with you, too. You are my darling Lizzie, after all, and my maid though you might be, you are more than ever than that. You are my best friend in the whole world, and I really do love you. Oh, what a sweet moment. With the debacle in the warehouse well and truly over, I finally returned home. My return of succubi, plus Steffi, in tow. Once we return, Alice looks at me and somberly she says, I really am sorry, Huriko, for causing you so many problems. I just wanted to spend some time with you. Well, I think, Roy, if that was Alice's little scheme, it certainly succeeded. She was able to spend quite a lot of time with me before Yui interrupted. I shudder to think what would have happened if Yui hadn't come to my rescue. She was pretty cool back then. Okay, I think I'm falling for Yui more and more, or something. But I know, now after talking to Lady Yui, that the way I went about it was totally wrong. I didn't ask you how you felt about any of this, and I didn't think about your boundaries. I was being horribly selfish. If I could go back in time, I would have never forced myself on you like that. Not that this really helps, I suppose, given I did force myself on you. It's too late to change the past, but, I don't know if I deserve your forgiveness, so I won't ask for it, but I really am sorry. If you never want to see me again, I would understand. Just say the word and I'll disappear from your life for good. We should be so lucky. Maria murmurs this when she was under her breath. She doesn't seem at all thrilled by Alice's words. But I am rather more lenient towards her. It's true enough that Alice forced herself on me, but I can't bring myself to hate her for it. She seems pretty repentant about it to look at her. In fact, I think she appears pretty cut up about all of this. That talk Yuri gave her must have drummed some sense into her. I can't bring myself to resent her, not when she looks so very lost. I don't want to make her cry. She's so cute it'd be a waste to spoil her pretty face with snot and tears, so it's alright. I'll be sure Alice after a pause. Huh? Is it really alright? Don't forget what she did to you, darling. I know you're a soft touch, but there's such a thing as being too forgiving. If you let Alice get away with her awful behavior, who's to say she won't walk all over you in the future? She'll never take you seriously, not like this. I know that, and I know Alice made a lot of mistakes. I'm going to absolve her for everything she did, but... I inhaled, then smiling, I stepped forward and ruffled the top of Alice's head. I know why you did what you did. You were lonely, weren't you? Yes, that's right. I was horribly, horribly lonely, and I had nobody I could confide in. I never really had any friends, you see. So I'm not good at talking to people. I guess that's why I did what I did. I didn't know how else to get your attention. Oh, please, there are better ways to get people's attention than assaulting them. I agree, you're being way too nice to her, Huriko. I've always known you were a total pushover. I guess I must be to put up with Yuri's words. But Maria's right. Sometimes you need to stand up for yourself. Don't you have any self-respect? I have plenty of it at the moment, but I don't think I would if I made Alice cry. That would be unforgivable. Who are you trying to press her, idiot? You don't need to try and act like a knight in shining armor. Not when Alice is obsessed with you already. You better be careful, she'll fall. She'll fall even harder for you, and then she has, and before you know it, Grandma Yui runs a hand across her neck. She'll decapitate you, cover your skull in diamonds, and start talking to it quicker than you can say for the love of God. No, I wouldn't. I might not be entirely normal. Now that's putting it lightly. But I'm not completely insane. So you're only a little insane then. Just a bit. And I know I have problems, but I never murder Huriko. I love him, in case you hadn't realized. Don't put horrible ideas like that into Huriko's head. Although, Alice pauses, her expression thoughtful. If I did put Huriko out of his head, he would never be able to leave me. Then we really could stay together forever. That might not be so bad. He 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 he. I'm sorry, but I will veto that interest plan of yours. While I do sympathize with you, Alice, my sympathy would soon dry up if you hurt Hunico in any meaningful way. I do love him, after all. So do I. If you want to share him with us, you need to learn how to treat him properly. You need to ensure you hand him back to the rest of us in one piece, okay? With a skull inside his head. Right, I'll do my best, provided you won't mind me being a member of your harem, Hunico. Of course not. I smile at Alice and give her head another ruffle. You're very cute. When you're not saying horrifying things, I mean. I'd be more than happy to spend more time with you. Me too, Steffi says. You might have kidnapped me, Alice, but you really didn't hurt me. And I understand that you meant no ill will. I too know what it feels like to be lonely, having spent so much of my life shut up inside the palace, so I can't flout you. Who knows? If I didn't have a wonderful friend like Izzy to keep me company, I might have done something desperate too. You are too kind, my lady. This woman treated you poorly indeed. You'd be well within your rights if you held a grudge. It is a touch unnatural, in fact, that you don't. But you always seem to have been a good girl. That is one of the reasons why I love you so much. As for myself, however, Elizabeth looks at Alice angrily. I am rather less forgiving. I will let matters slide for now because it was what my lady wants. But if you cause any further problems for her or for Mr. Earl, I will make you regret it. Do I make myself plain? Quite plain. I'm sorry for being such a bother. I'll be at my best behavior from now on. Well, isn't that nice? Things have a bit dicey for her, but it looks like we've all made up. All is well that ends well. I think this ends a little too well. It's all nice. I feel like throwing up. Agreed. It still doesn't sit easily with me that Alice hasn't been punished for this. My right hand is itching to deliver retribution to her behind. It's about that she put me through so much humiliation. Eep! Oh, come on, everyone, let's not be so mean. Himiko forgives Alice, and so does Steffi, so we should too. Let's all turn the other cheek. I advocate for peace, not war. Humanity would never advance a war at one each other's throats. Now, since Steffi and Lizzie will be going back to Austria soon, why don't we all have fun? I have a lot of dates planned for us in the next few days, and of course, you'll be more than welcome to come along, Alice. The more the merrier. Going on dates? I've never been on a date before. I thought it was a little scary, honestly. I don't know much about romance, but if I can experience it with you, Hunico, then... Alice takes a step forward towards me, then takes a hold of the front of my shirt. She looks up at me at her eyes, half ladled, and says, It might not be so bad after all, but please look out for me. I'll be in your care. So saying, Alice stands on her tippy toes. Kiss, kiss, fall in love trophy. And we got the platinum. Oh my. Do you have to do that right in front of my face? Youngsters today really are brazen. How romantic. Is this supposed to be a declaration of war? I suppose I admire her confidence, but kissing my darling right in front of the rest of us. How shameless. I don't much like seeing other women being intimate with my Hunico, it's true, but I'm trying to be less jealous. I need to learn how to show him, and I want Alice to be happy too. I think she deserves it. Yep. Alice slips me mine in a kiss. This isn't a harsh driving kiss like the ones she bestowed upon me in the abandoned warehouse. This kiss instead is sweet and gentle, almost caress-it-like. Alice unrivaled me when I first met her, it's true, but I don't hate her. I'm glad, in fact, that I met her. I constantly look forward to spending more time with her, and I hope we can get along. It's just like Cosmo said, things really do seem to be shaping up well. Perhaps this really is a happily ever after. Is that it? Well, why is that one star on the back? Oh, that's just... Okay, that's the credits. So we have beaten the Succubus 7 game. So we got a nice shiny platinum. We now have a new Succubus on our team, the psychopath Alice, who I think is into bondage, I guess. So that should be interesting. See what? Okay, Rosie texted me some things. Ashley sent some images in the PlayStation group. No, no. I've just now seen it on the app because I remember when you're streaming, it doesn't. No, when you're streaming, it doesn't show up anything that notifications or anything until you're done. Yeah, but yep. All right, so let's see. All right, so Billie English is the youngest person to ever win 2 Oscars tonight. And Oppenheimer has won 7 Oscars and all that. But that is the end of the Sakura Succubus game. When Part 8 comes out, we will be Let's Playing that again. I will probably try to do 2 streams tomorrow, but I hope everyone has a good rest of your Sunday. And peace out, everybody.